Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality of the best hair. God damn, I do say that fast. And welcome to Live and Wired episode 26, Remix and Rematch. Which could have also been the name of the show.
Just now figuring out that he says that really fast.
Well, I mean, okay. Anyway, joining as always is that long-haired creepy guy.
Yo, interrupting Decker and making him awkward.
And the actual star, well, oh, star, you're kind of in the back, but the actual one who's responsible for, like, the entire show and making sure everything is together. And if it weren't for them, this show would seriously not exist. I know this very well. Patricia Miranda.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Like stage manager, producer, organizer, fellow Decker leash holder.
Chief cook and bottle washer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so only a few more days until Christmas. So how's everybody's preparation for the holidays going?
Moonheart44 has an idea for a gift. Is asking, can we donate a camera for Patricia?
Oh, that's great. That would be awesome.
I don't know if it's the camera that's the problem, though, or if it's the laptop.
I don't know what it is either, but I checked on my camera options on Skype, and it works. And then I checked on my my live stream app to check to see if it's there, and it works fine. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'm gonna have it hopefully like checked soon.
Okay.
And Savage Tiger 13 says, for Christmas we need to get Patricia a new face cam.
Yes.
And the Devil's Eyes says, greetings from Argentina. Greetings.
Hey, how's it going?
The Devil's Eyes. The prequel to The Devil Walks Among Us.
Followed by The Devil is a Voyeur, and the devil really needs to stop looking at me when I'm in the shower.
Oh,
how these are.
Runs with Mooses has the best idea. It says, get her a new laptop and camera.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That'd be a very damn good Christmas. Oh, just say, go under the tree and open it up, and just suddenly it's a Predator laptop. It's got like 5 minutes of battery life, but who cares? It's super powerful.
Also, we have a hello from Canada and a greetings from Muscatine, Iowa. First is Jacob Kennedy. The second is John Bayard or Baird, B-A-I-R-D. I apologize.
And Kaysen, my name is Decker. Decker, I'm super cool with the name Decker Shado. No burn.
We have a $5 comment from Luke1234 who says, seriously, Decker, thank you so much for reviewing my favorite film, Robocop. I hope that you do the rest of the franchise.
Oh, yeah, I do intend to. I got the trilogy. It doesn't have to reboot Robocop, reboot or remake, what would you call it? But either way, that one I intend to get just so I could have that also along the line, because it just seems like an interesting. I looked a little bit into it. It's got its differences, but I think the biggest difference, based on what I've done in my research, is probably its tone. It's much more serious than the original Robocop, which the original Robocop had plenty of serious moments, but it still felt lighthearted with its presentation. It's just
well, I think you summed it up in your final thoughts. You called it a gore-filled action film with a sci-fi edge set against a satirical backdrop.
Yeah.
So it's this mishmash of things, but it comes together fairly well.
We have two donations. We have a $1 from Andres Martinez with no comment, so thank you for the donation.
Thank you very much.
We have a $20 comment from Savage Tiger 13 who says, here, I'll get things started. Let's get her that cam and show Decker our love/insane cult following. Okay.
I don't know if I should appreciate the thought or be afraid. Or both.
Both. Both. We have a £2 comment from Ivan Knight who says, what are your thoughts on The Babadook, my favorite horror film?
Oh, God, I'm going to sound like an asshole, but I still have to see it.
Okay. So, to be determined.
Though John Baird says Babadook was absolute trash. So now we can have a fight in the comments. Please don't fight.
Yay, great.
Hooray!
Everyone has different opinions, and I've had to deal with some pretty hefty opinions of a lot of people. And I got like PTSD from other people's opinions.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should even bring that up or just like Let's just talk about the news right now. Just ignore that.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it was, it was a pretty decent couple of weeks gathering some stuff for this week's Live and Wired. But then the Game Awards happened last night, and I was like, ah, now there's going to be so much announcements for upcoming games and all that stuff. It's going to be such. Now I had to like actually cut off various news articles just so I can fit this one in.
We have such sights to show you.
Jabari Bloodbane asks.
Oh God! Now everyone in the comments is apologizing to each other over the little Babadook little scuffle. It's okay. Everyone's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Trust me. We could be arguing about worse things. Anyway,
being a rare unicorn right now, people are actually apologizing to one another.
People are being very polite on the internet right now. I don't know if I just have a really big Canadian following.
Maybe. Who knows?
I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm not complaining. It's just, I'm staring into the void and I'm seeing a smiley face.
Oh, Jacob Kennedy says, "Hey Decker, so Robocop when I was 8. So thanks, Dad. I'm fucked up now." Theatrical or uncut, but either way, I mean, I saw. I saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space when I was 8, but that was absolutely terrifying for an 8-year-old.
That's true. Anyway, as I was saying, Jabari Bloodbane was asking Creepy, Scooby-Doo Kiss movie. That's coming up relatively soon, right, Creepy?
Hopefully, like within the next year. I'm shooting for that. Yeah, I still have to finish the Daria retrospective. I didn't shoot for trying to finish it doing. I know I've got season 4 coming up, and I'm going to do it, but I didn't try and do it in December since those reviews, making a Daria retrospective review takes a while. It usually takes me a few days to edit together, and, well, Christmas holiday season, so yeah.
That's true. And hey, look at the bright side. The longer that you take, the more closer you'll get into, as soon as you're done with, all the seasons, and you'll be in time to discuss about the reboot.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Yeah. You know what? I think we might as well get the Game Awards out of the way because, it happened last night. It's still fresh in people's minds. So, why not? Yeah. So I'm just going to pull up the article right here.
Kevin Schaefer says saw Starship Troopers at 6. Thanks, Mom. And that's getting me worried about how messed up my kid's going to be because I'm going to show them a lot of damn movies when they're like 2. Ivan Knight also dropped a 5-pound comment saying this question is for everyone. What serious film that isn't a horror scared you? Mine is Requiem for a Dream, or We Need to Talk About Kevin.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I think the parts of Beastmaster that frightened me when I was really young were pretty much horror parts anyway. So even though it was an adventure movie, it had some pretty freaky shit in there.
I remember the conversation. We had this talk multiple times where you told me about the infamous scene with the bird people, and you couldn't remember the movie that it was from and then like I can't remember what pinged it exactly. I just remember that I think someone had brought up Beastmaster, and then I remembered. I was thinking about the movie, and then I remembered the scene with the Birdman thing, and I was like, that might have been it. So I sent you a link with a link to a clip on YouTube of that, and I was like, was this the movie you were telling me about? And you were like, yep, that's the one. Oh, okay, well, that's Beastmaster. Well, great, now I have to review it.
Savage Tiger says it's going to sound silly, but Ghostbusters, the scene of Slimer rushing down the hallway and the demon dog in the closet.
I can see that.
Yeah, that was another movie that didn't have, wasn't technically horror, but did have some horror elements to it.
I remember being very young and remembering scenes from Ghostbusters 2. I remember the slime specifically, that weird, looks like hand soap slime.
Right.
But I don't know, I just remembered a few scenes with that because I remember it scared the crap out of me. I was like 3 or 4, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, we have a $2 chat from Alexia Mitchell saying, seeing you Godzilla movie crossover with Creepy. Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, Creepy. You want to see the new Godzilla, the one with the Mothra, and I think isn't the Rodan in it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Okay, so Game Awards.
Game Awards.
Real
Yes.
quickly, I do have one more thing to say about the earlier question.
Go
There is
ahead.
one movie that I was forced to watch multiple times as a kid that wasn't a horror movie, but scared the shit out of me every time. Like, every time they made us watch this movie in school, I would have nightmares about it for days. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. There is this movie about this old guy who lures children into his candy factory, which is actually cleverly disguised, full of death traps.
No, I actually saw a really, it was an interesting little semi-meme article kind of thing. It's a wall of text with a picture, okay? But it was saying that, technically speaking, if you think about all the kids that were picked to go on the tour, Charlie really didn't deserve to win. There was someone who did better and was much better suited to the job. I can't remember her name. The one who ate the
you mean
blueberry
Violet?
gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, Violet's. They went into detail in this little aside talking about, okay, she displayed discipline here because she gave up chewing gum specifically for this contest and did it well enough to get a golden ticket. She has this, that. She is knowledgeable about all this stuff and all these things. And by the way, Charlie broke the rules, went over there and drank the fizzy stuff after being expressly told it was something that was not you should not do, and he's seen what's happened to some other kids already. Whereas she got the gum, and it was just like Wonka just was like, well, I guess I wouldn't do that, and didn't fucking tell her what was going to happen. And oh, gee, it was bad.
Oh, you make a point. Yeah.
It was an interesting little thing I read. It was like, oh yeah. Charlie was kind of useless. He's going to run that factory to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, don't worry. We'll be discussing about that shortly afterwards.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry. I got us away from the game. Let's do that. Yeah.
Game Awards.
Game Awards. Yes.
Always so important.
Yeah. Especially since as soon as I was done talking about the fact that I had to pull up the Game Awards for, this week's Live and Wired, somebody was asking me, like, did they say anything about Mortal Kombat? And I was like, yeah, there's going to be a Mortal Kombat 11 coming out. So let's talk about some of the games that were featured and some of the announcements. So Mortal Kombat 11 is one of them. Raiden, Scorpion, and the rest of the gang return, and sooner than you expect, Mortal Kombat 11 is due out in April 2019, and the trailer is in the description. A new character has been announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that would be the Joker from Persona 5.
And that was a bit of that's kind of a major, like, what the hell? A lot of people are confused because technically, I was looking at that, it's like, wait a minute, there are rules in Smash Brothers. How does Joker fit in those rules? I was going to Wikipedia. I was going to Google Wikipedia. Tell me how the hell Joker is allowed in Smash, because Joker, this motherfucker, this is from Persona. Has any Persona game ever been on any Nintendo system? And I found the answer to my question was technically yes. There was a side game that was sort of a mishmash of 4 and 3, as far as I know, that was on 3DS. That was the only Persona game I could find any evidence of ever being on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, I believe that's Persona Q, right?
I don't know enough about it. The Persona 5 is the first Persona I've seen getting played, actually. It's my introduction to the series.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not for me playing it, it's for my fiance playing it. It's really cool, and I'm like, wow, this is a really awesome game. Why the hell haven't I ever played anything in this series?
Yeah, Persona is a very popular series of RPGs, and I think that for Persona, I'm surprised that it hasn't been released on more Nintendo consoles, considering of how huge of a demand it is. So yes, I guess maybe with the technicality, it's like, Solid Snake is in Super Smash Brothers Brawl, and he's mostly a Sony character. But
but Twin Snakes did come out on GameCube.
That's true. So I guess they're working on that kind of technicality.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird because it's a series technicality, but Joker is a specific character from 5 who still has never been on a Nintendo system.
Maybe they're hinting that maybe Persona 5 will be released on the Switch. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like, yeah, the day after the Game Awards, or the night of the Game Awards, suddenly the Persona 5 coming to Switch rumor popped up, and it's like, well, yeah, it would make a little sense considering he's in the first DLC pack, and he's never been on a Nintendo system, and that's the rule. That's the rule in Smash Brothers. You don't break the rules. Otherwise, that's the only way Sakurai gets people to shut up about saying get Master Chief in there.
Very true. All right, so next one, Fortnite. Yay. Epic previously announced Fortnite's creative mode. During the Game Awards, Donald Mustard, greatest name ever, took to the stage to reveal the block, a feature that will be dedicated to incorporating players' creations in Battle Royale. You can read more about that. Next one.
Donald Mustard in the living room with the candles.
There you go. You win, creepy. Okay. Next one. BioWare teases Dragon Age 4. It's a little more than an indication that the studio has its sights on a new Dragon Age, but hey, it's something. So there's more information about that. So yeah, Dragon Age 4. Rage 2 has a release date, May 14th. Marvel Ultimate Alliance will be coming out on the Switch, and it will be exclusive for the Switch. I believe that's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I think. So that's good.
That works for me. I got a Switch, but at the same time, I'm confused as to why exactly it's exclusive.
I don't know. Maybe they worked out a specific deal or something, or I don't know. But yeah, it's exclusive on the Switch for those who are huge Marvel Ultimate Alliance fans. Okay, Supergiant revealed its new game. It's called Hades, and it looks very Bastion-y, but with a lot of Greek mythology. Obsidian's new game mixes Fallout with Mass Effect. Obsidian finally released its new game called The Outer World. It looks rad. We got to visit the studio and see the game in action. A new Far Cry game, a sequel to Far Cry 5 called Far Cry New Dawn. Post-apocalyptic and colorful as heck. Next one, the creator of Assassin's Creed showed off his new game. God of War was
I just that little bullet point is like, creator showed off new game, looks wild. Oh, great! I have no idea what the hell that is.
Well, let's hopefully I'm gonna click on the link. Hopefully it's not a YouTube video.
Right.
Okay, it's not a YouTube video. Okay, so single player open world survival game set in Africa 10 million years ago. Ooh. That's what Patrice Desilets and Panache Digital Games have coming. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. More with the Odyssey stuff. Seriously, what's going on, Ubisoft? Anyway, let's see. It was shown tonight at the Game Awards. Players explore taking on hippos, snakes, and all kinds of other deadly creatures and environments over the course of many, many years. That sounds awesome. Cool.
Does that mean I can create a tribe and just take over and spread out of Africa and go into Europe and then kill the shit out of the Neanderthals?
Sure. Anything you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Next one. God of War was the big winner last night. True to its name, the Game Awards actually gave awards last night. Well, of course. Red Dead Redemption 2 walked away with a big number of them, but ultimately it was God of War that took home the big prize of Game of the Year.
I love the snow in Red Dead Redemption 2. That's what I do when I'm playing. I'm just rolling around in snow the whole time.
Okay, and the Stanley Parable is coming to console. Well, I've never played the Stanley Parable.
I know of it. I never played it. I have an idea of what it is, and at the same time, I'm like, well, it's mostly draw is discovering new things. It's not engaging gameplay per se as much as it's just it surprises you. But it's been out for so long on PC. I'm wondering, are they going to add new things for consoles, mix things up a little? Because I'm not seeing too much of a reason for that to get a further release.
Savage Tiger 13 says Red Dead Snow Angels 2.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. And all right, so the next one. And the Nestine 100 says most likely Decker would breed the shit out of the Neanderthals. Sounds about right. Okay, the Crash Team Racing remake is real. So yeah, that was actually one of the things that I did pull up on one of the articles for Live and Wire, that there was rumors spreading around that there was going to be a Crash Team Racing, but now it's actually been confirmed. So it's coming out next June. So I guess Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy did so well that they decided, hey, let's remake the racing game for the PlayStation.
John Baird says, the Stanley Parable is a troll game made by people who think they are smarter than everyone. Wanks.
Oh, I see.
Also, Dragon Lord, the King of Dragons, says, Decker, did you know that Sly Cooper games were originally going to get a movie?
I think I might have heard a little bit about that. That was wasn't that like years ago?
Yeah, that was years ago. That was around the same time that Ratchet and Clank was announced of getting a movie. And then when the Ratchet and Clank movie did come out and it did like really bad in the box office, I think that's when they decided to cancel it.
I think the plan, or at least, okay, don't take this as the gospel truth, but the rumor that I heard was that the plan was the Ratchet and Clank movie was sort of like a testing ground. If it did well, they were going to do a Sly Cooper movie, and if it did well, they would do a Jak and Daxter movie. But since...
Am I the only one looking at these and thinking, but the stories are completely different between all of those?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but because, well, like Patricia said, when the Ratchet and Clank movie did so badly at the box office, they were like, yeah, well, we're not trying this again.
Yeah, which is a shame too, because I think that a Sly Cooper movie would have worked so well. It would have been like an espionage for little kids, kind of like, James Bond or, Mission Impossible, but with like cuddly creatures. And I am a huge fan of the Sly Cooper series. And as for Jak and Daxter, I think that would have been great. It's just a shame that, for some reason, Naughty Dog just seems to like toy around with bringing back Jak and Daxter in some way, shape, or form, and it just never happens.
Right. But, Disney has proven with Zootopia that the fur community is a lucrative market. So
very true.
Sly Cooper movies, why not?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna bet on this. If the Super Mario Brothers movie does really, really well, I wouldn't be surprised if they thought that let's try another shot with Sly Cooper.
At some point, probably.
Just the idea of a Super Mario Brothers movie doing well is just terrifying to me.
For those of us who remember the early 90s and the first attempt at a live-action Super Mario Brothers movie.
Big Nath Gaming asked, when are they going to do a Cards Against Humanity game for consoles? And that got me thinking, because I'm not even sure if there's a game like that on consoles. I know there's many different little sort of off-brand, unofficial Cards Against Humanity expansions or other games that are not Cards Against Humanity but are like Cards Against Humanity. But I don't know if there's one for consoles that's really, CAH.
That's true, yeah. The only way you can be able to do to play Cards Against Humanity is if you actually had the card game itself, or various websites in which you can be able to play with multiple people.
Yeah, is the Cards Against Humanity website compatible with the PlayStation browser?
I don't know. John Radsey says, "Don't give them ideas for a Cards Against Humanity movie." Oh, definitely not.
I would just
Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
The Cards Against Humanity movie would be great because everything would be wrapped up at the end by a sassy black woman.
I'm imagining all the just people dueling each other with duel discs, a la Yu-Gi-Oh, except all the cards have insulting or horrific things put on them.
Oh god.
Also, Ryan Walterson dropped was that $5 Canadian, I believe?
Yeah, it's $5 Canadian, yeah.
$5 Canadian. The award show had some cool presenters, but by far the best presenter of the night was Pepe the King Prawn from the Muppets. Yes, he was there. Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I missed the Game Awards because, well, okay, I don't have a reason. I think I was playing Sakura Gamer.
Oh, okay.
That's not something I should admit to.
That's fair enough.
Also, Tony Dunlap says, "Hey, Creepy, I heard you quit making videos. I'm not sure when that came. I know. Like, my last video was 5 days ago."
Sometimes YouTube will just stop giving your subscribers notifications of your stuff, seemingly at random.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think it was it? I think Phalis I saw on Twitter recently saying that he relatively frequently gets comments from people saying, "Wow, you're making videos again. It's been a while." And no, it hasn't. He's kept up on it this whole time. YouTube's just not showing it to him on occasion.
Right.
All right, let's finish this off. The makers, okay, Giant Squid has a new game in the works. The makers of Abzu
I like to
have
imagine it as just an actual giant squid making video games.
have something really special on their hands with The Pathless. Get your first look of it here and read about it in our issue. Might as well. So let's see. Let's see if I can find it.
Well,
I
that's
get
the
it. I have
whole
to.
issue right there.
Okay, fine, fair enough. And I take it that this is a YouTube video, so I'm not gonna. Oh, I'm not gonna click on it. So let's see. The Epic's Game Store makes it play. Epic's attempt to rival Steam with its own storefront is now in full swing. During the Game Awards, Epic revealed the first batch of titles of the store. So we might as well take a look to see what kind of games they're going to be having.
The biggest competitor to Steam is Good Old Games. The second biggest is EA's Origin, and nobody likes Origin.
All right, let's see. We have Ashen by A44 and Annapurna Interactive, Darksiders 3, Hades by Supergiants, Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek,
Oh,
Genesis.
the Nestine 100 says, "What? YouTube fails to notify subscribers and thus screws over its talent? Surely not. Clearly, this is the nefarious handiwork of Russian hackers."
It's all a conspiracy. Everybody knows that.
It's creepy. Russia is trying to destroy your channel.
What did I do to offend Russia, I wonder?
What didn't you do to offend Russia?
I always felt like if either one of us was going to have Russia go after us, it would be you. But okay.
Well, that's true. But I mean, like, guilt by association.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. We have Genesis Alpha 1, Journey, Maneater, Outer Wilds, Pathless, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, Satisfactory, Subnautica, Super Meat Boy Forever, and World War Z. And yeah, those are the games that are going to be on Epic Games Store to try to compete against Steam. And then finally, but last but certainly not least, we have the makers of No Man's Sky is working on a title called The Last Campfire. And let's see, No Man's Sky developer Hello Games revealed their latest project at the Game Awards. It's called The Last Campfire. We call it a Hello Game short. Like Pixar short, it is a way to foster creativity and new voices in the studio. We started by making Joe Danger before No Man's Sky. We wanted to pay forward our success to give others the opportunity to do the same. I'm so proud that two of our team has been able to make something so artistically interesting, but also so fun and unique to play. That's what it reminds me about how much I love it. So yes, they're making a new game. I'm surprised that they were able to scrape off whatever they had left from No Man's Sky. But you know what? I got nothing to complain.
Hello Games was an indie developer like the entire time, so I don't see them doing a much smaller game as, this is just a short, this is just us returning to our roots. And like, no, this is you doing what you know you're capable of.
All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Game Awards. That took about almost over 20 minutes. So yeah, not bad.
God. Savage Tiger 13 says 5 minutes into the game, rain starts, campfire goes out, game over.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And if you want the fire to come back quickly, then you have to pay $1.99 of microtransactions.
If it's from the developers of No Man's Sky, I just imagine it's going to be extreme difficulty mode, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to start you next to a campfire on a poison pit, and you're just going to die instantly and try again. Just reload until it gives you something that you can actually survive, and then you can try a really hard world.
If at first you don't succeed, reload, try again, and keep dying.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for the Game Awards. Now we have a whole bunch of other things to cover, which, oh man, there's like so many news regarding about Netflix and up and coming live action series and anime series. Where's one to start? All right. I actually do have a really interesting one that I want to discuss about. So, there has been a website that just came out recently called Work with the Monsters, and they're looking for actors, actresses, producers, directors, agents, and all that stuff so they can be able to make projects based off of their monsters. And you would think, oh, what kind of monsters? Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy. Well,
Kinda.
yeah, kinda, sort of. Apparently, this particular set of monsters is not the monsters you think. They're looking to have people work on movies and projects based off of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not joking. It says so right here. We're the monsters and we want to work with you. We're calling filmmakers, actors, agents, writers, producers, animators to bring upon various projects based off of the following monsters: Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. So if you are interested, then you can look up various information or you can sign up and see if
the chat is beautiful right now.
What are they saying?
Oh, okay. Serial killers. Oh, dear God. What? That's it. I'm done. WTF were they smoking?
Okay.
Is this the sequel to Food Fight?
I love marijuana.
Okay. So yes, if you are interested in making any project based off of these three monsters, then just go to the website workwiththemonsters.com and pitch your project.
So
I'm sure they'll be interested.
I think the idea I have of Count Chocula coming in the night to steal away your children and give them diabetes might not be approved. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's like I'm imagining the three of us getting together and writing this Alan Moore, John Carpenter mesh of just a nightmare fuel, where Frankenberry runs a sweatshop style candy cereal factory populated by orphan children. Count Chocula is like sucking the sugar out of people's veins and giving them like, what was it, diabetes or so, or I forget what the other one is.
Hypoglycemia.
Hypoglycemia, thank you. Yeah. And Boo Berry is like possessing, like we can have Boo Berry be like this exorcist style thing where he's possessing a child, except instead of vomiting up spit pea soup, they're vomiting up cereal. And meanwhile, there's like a literal serial killer going around killing anyone who eats their cereal.
Yeah. We have a $5 comment from Jack Brand who says, "Hey, Dak, what's your favorite Christmas movie? My family loves cuddling around the TV and watching 1992's Bad Lieutenant. Brings everyone together."
Probably Die Hard.
Oh, we'll get to that, by the way.
Die Hard, Christmas movie.
Maybe, but mostly no.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
Maybe, but mostly no.
But let's see. What's my? I don't know if I have a Christmas movie really. I'm trying to think.
I do like Jingle All the Way. Like, not ironically, it's fun to have on in the background. It's like, hey, Jingle All the Way. Yeah, put that cookie down now.
I'm imagining that happen. Like that line comes up just as you're about to bite into a cookie, and Decker's like, "Is my fiance watching me?"
That's what she gets on my case with me playing Cookie Clicker.
So in the comments, who wants to see that version of the Work with the Monsters movie where we make this bizarre horror story?
Ooh, Epic Jason X9000 says, "A Christmas Story is my personal favorite. In fact, I was able to see it in theaters earlier today."
Oh, nice!
Awesome. I gotta see that movie in theaters.
Yeah, I never. That's a really rare opportunity. Good for you, man.
I really like A Christmas Story. My older sister hates it, but then again, she had to deal with the fact that the rest of the family really, 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 really liked it. So can't really blame her.
That's fair enough. To give a little plug, my friend Cassim Games actually wrote, the history of A Christmas Story. If you're interested in checking it out, you can go over to his website, CassimGames.com, and I'm sure that it'll probably be, still on sale for the holidays. So, if you want to know a lot about, A Christmas Story leading up to like the makings of the movie all the way up until the musical that happened a few years ago, then go check it out. So going into the whole discussion about, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? So according to a recent poll, they say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Lies!
So, yes. Decker, why don't you read this one?
Some bad news for those who think Die Hard is one of the best Christmas movies. A new poll finds that most people don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie at all. The Hollywood Reporter recently ran a survey to scientifically judge the most beloved holiday film. Good news, the 1964 stop-motion TV special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer won. Bad news, Die Hard was widely deemed illegitimate. Of poll takers, only 25% agreed with the 1988 action classic in which Bruce Willis's John McClane spends Christmas Eve violently battling terrorists in a Los Angeles skyscraper. Belongs in the same Netflix category as It's a Wonderful Life, Frosted Snowman, and Home Alone, in which a young boy spends Christmas Eve violently battling thieves. What's more, a whopping 62% said that the film had no business being there in the first place. Polls, be they casual online affairs or official government elections, have long been a good way for people to lose faith in their fellow humans. But this one is particularly disappointing. To make matters worse, 4 of the top 10 winners aren't even movies, they're TV specials, including the top dog. In the case of another winner, A Christmas Carol, it's not even clear which version won. Was the 2009 one with CGI Jim Carrey, the 1951 version with Alistair Sim, or perhaps Disney's Mickey Christmas Carol? The whole thing seems like a sloppy fake news. No word of pollsters if pollsters also rejected other nasty and or R-rated Christmas set movies such as Bad Santa, Gremlins, Trading Places, The Ref, or Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. In any case, as Homer Simpson once said, democracy doesn't work.
So there you go. Goes to show you that a lot of people don't think of Die Hard as a Christmas movie. We have a $4.99 comment from Lazarus Soul 82 who says, "Who would voice the monsters? Go on, folks, pick them gooder. LOL." Okay, so if we were to remember from the commercials that happened during like the 80s and 90s, they had Count Chocula sound like Bela Lugosi, and they had Frankenberry sound like Boris Karloff, and they had Booberry sound like Peter Lorre. So maybe they would feature maybe like newer horror movies.
I don't know. I'd want Blueberry to be John Malkovich.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Decker would voice Count Chocula. I already kind of look like him.
I could see that.
I got that long ass face. Works for me.
Read by Nature said Ron Perlman should play Booberry.
Cereal never changes.
Actually, I have 3. Frank Welker should voice Count Chocula. Maurice LaMarche, that's his name.
Yeah.
He should voice Frankenberry. And I think that Booberry should be voiced by Steve Bloom.
Ooh, Darth Necrosis says Christopher Walken for Count Chocula.
I picture Christopher Walken as Booberry.
Yeah, I definitely I would say Booberry, definitely.
Yeah. John Baird says cereal never stays crunchy.
John Ratsey says, I'd be down if Samuel L. Jackson played Count Chocula.
Yes.
Sebastian Hesselton says Morgan Freeman as Count Chocula.
Okay, that's all. That's my second choice now.
Dragon Lord, the King of Dragons, says Count Chocula should be voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. I could see that. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, Morgan Freeman as the Count Chocula. And here we are, pouring the cereal.
Hell,
And-
Frankenberry can be Terry Crews.
Oh,
Nicholas Cage is Count Chocula from Adjacent X9000. Darth Necrosis says, need Gary Busey in there somewhere.
And Christopher McDonald says Morgan Freeman is already Vincent the Vegetable Vampire. And Nicole7891 says, this conversation is getting weird.
Well, what do you expect? People are looking to hire actors, actresses, producers, writers, and directors to make a movie or a TV show or whatever project based off of cereal mascots. I mean, of course it's weird.
right.
We really should have just called the show Live and Weird.
Yeah, it's long overdue. And then, of course, to round everything off, we have Savage Tiger 13 who says, I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking marshmallows in this motherfucking cereal. And we are done here. So, let's, if Die Hard is not considered a Christmas movie, so do we say that maybe other movies that takes place around Christmas that don't have the Christmas feeling are not Christmas movies? Like Gremlins?
After the question came up, it occurred to me, Ghostbusters 2 is kind of a Christmas movie. Like, it doesn't specifically, it talks more about New Year's than Christmas, but there is, this general, like basically the villain is defeated literally by the power of love and friendship and goodwill towards fellow man, at the stroke of midnight. So, I mean, it kind of has the themes of Christmas in there, even though it's New Year's, but still.
Yeah. And there's also Batman Returns, which also takes place around the holidays as well.
That's true.
The Nestine 100 says, you hope we're done, Patricia. I fear this is just getting started.
Oh, I wouldn't be
Predator
surprised.
references.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
Is Predator a Christmas movie?
Yes, Predator's a Christmas movie. Nightmare on Elm Street is a Christmas movie.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Gremlins. Actually, Gremlins does take place during the holiday season, so yeah.
Yes.
There was a lot of references to Christmas Gremlins. Wasn't Gizmo a Christmas gift?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, he was.
So yeah, there's a lot of Christmas in Gremlins.
Yeah. The Santa Claus that's being attacked by gremlins as he's trying to go down.
Oh god! Epic Jason X9000 says, not only do I want Nicolas Cage as Count Chocula, but I want him to do it as his Vampire's Kiss performance. Everyone needs to see Vampire's Kiss.
I have never seen it.
I don't think I've seen it either. I'm kind of wondering now, should Decker review Vampire's Kiss?
I should, but there's a lot of things I should do.
one video at a time.
Like stop injecting caffeine into my veins.
Yes. All right. Well,
actually, I'm out of coffee in here. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, I have a follow-up to something that we discussed about last time. So Creepy was discussing about the chilling adventures of Sabrina and about how his thoughts of it were. And there was some controversy involving with showing off a statue, and that got the show to go on a bit of a hiatus.
I'm wondering if there's anything that happens that doesn't involve controversy anymore. I'm controversied out. I'm at the point where it's like, hey, have you heard the other bad stuff on the PlayStation 1 Classic? And like, I don't care anymore. It's a system. It's got 20 games. It costs $100. You like it, buy it. You don't.
Oh, don't worry. We'll be talking about that one too. Yeah, there's so much controversy. Wait till we get to Tumblr. Oh God. Okay. Anyway.
Actually, I do have some thought. I do have some things to say about that, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, okay, Creepy. Anyway, going into the follow-up of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So it turns out that even though with that minor controversy, it will be coming back on April 5th, 2019. So go ahead. You cover this one.
All right. You won't have to wait long if you're craving another fix of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Netflix has confirmed that part 2 of the Teenage Witch Saga will arrive on April 5th. The accompanying teaser doesn't say a whole lot about what's coming next, which kind of defeats the purpose of it being a teaser. But Netflix noted that Sabrina has gone full witch and is struggling between her dark connections and her friends on the path of light. The show has been a tentpole for Netflix since its late October debut, Satanist lawsuits notwithstanding. Boy, that's a statement I didn't think I'd ever read out loud. I mean, just okay, like I just Sorry, I had to stop for a second. Like, I actually said that out loud. On top of the splashy premiere, Netflix lined up a holiday episode and, as you can see, a short wait for more episodes. It's not completely surprising. The show had a good head start thanks to Riverdale's success. Very true. Need to finish that, by the way. And has generally been well received since its premiere. Netflix, no doubt, wants to capitalize on their early success and keep viewers engaged while Sabrina is still fresh in their minds.
Oh, no.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, we have a $5 comment from Adam Wofford, who says, "Hey, Decker, have you heard of Mahler and his live stream? And have you thought of being on his stream?"
I think so. It rings a bell, and I can't. I mean, thought of being on a stream. I don't know. Maybe I'm a big flaky flake all in the rounds of the spins. It's just nothing. Whatever.
Yeah, what he said.
But on the other hand, I can't remember who it was. If it was Muller, if it was another YouTuber. I remember someone mentioned that another YouTuber had mentioned me on their stream at one point, and they gave me the link and they said where it was, and I watched it, and it was interesting. They had a little podcasting discussion, very similar style to this. But it was a sort of after we got, 5,000 Huff, and on a super chat, a whole lot of Huff.
Right.
And I think he was under the impression that it was dollars.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, no, it's like $15.
Yeah, pretty much. Brandon Kilgore says, "I heard Archie Comics had Sabrina since the 60s when Mistress of the Night was big." I actually, the other day, Melissa Joan Hart, who played as Sabrina in the 90s version, actually shared a video of the intro of the 1970s animated Sabrina TV series, and I looked at it as the most hilarious thing you would ever see. It's like Josie and the Pussycats mixed with what you would expect a teenage, series would be about. I think it was done by Hanna-Barbera, so it's not too surprising.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not shocking.
But yeah, what was I going to say? So yeah, Sabrina will be coming back, and I'm sure that you'll be giving your further thoughts on it when it happens. Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Epic Jason X9000 is aside from watching Batman Returns, a new Christmas tradition for me is playing the Doom Christmas mod Twisted Joke and watch the Invader Sim Christmas special. And I just realized Batman Returns, Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I thought we already mentioned Batman Returns.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was busy going, spinning.
I think you were the one who mentioned it.
No,
I mentioned it.
My bad. Okay, sorry about
But
that.
I'm sure that at some point we'll be discussing about this is not a Christmas movie because reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be another one in the next episode of Live and Wired. All right, let's discuss about our next set of news. So, this would be a really cool one, actually. So, Blade Runner has been really popular ever since the likes of Blade Runner 2049. It kind of reignited the likes of the franchise again. And thanks to the likes of Adult Swim and Crunchyroll, they are planning on having a Blade Runner anime series called Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Right.
So yeah, that should be pretty interesting. Whose turn is it to read?
Lazarus Soul dropped $4.99 saying, "Do y'all see the new She-Ra Netflix cartoon? The hell, someone needs to sue for that shit." And I have not checked out the She-Ra cartoon because there's, like I said, spinny, flaky. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So
yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Checking out She-Ra wasn't high on my list of priorities.
Yeah, I have actually watched. I haven't finished it, but I have watched it, and to be honest with you, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I can't wait for you and Yama to make your thoughts on the series.
But of course, I know there's tons of controversy surrounding it.
He's not sexy enough to be She-Ra. Why does this 14-year-old girl have a 25-year-old woman's body?
Sure.
I'm just controversy. No,
Yeah,
go away, controversy.
yeah,
I want to sleep.
All right. Whose turn is it to read it? Is it Decker's turn?
It's either that or yours, but I don't know.
All right.
Okay, I could go.
Go ahead.
Adult Swim and Crunchyroll have joined forces with Alcon Television Group, a division of Alcon Entertainment, produce and distribute a new anime series from Alcon called Blade Runner Black Lotus Alcon that is set to feature top characters from Japan. Creators from Japan. Japan. Inspired by the critically acclaimed Oscar-winning film Blade Runner 2049, Blade Runner Black Lotus will feature 13 30-minute episodes. What the? Oh, okay. 13 30-minute episodes produced by animation studio Sola Digital Arts Ultraman. I guess that's what they made before.
Yeah.
Shinji Aramaki, Appleseed, and Kenji Kamiyama, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, will direct all episodes of the premiere season. Shinichiro Watanabe, Cowboy Bebop Samurai Champion, is a creative producer. While Blade Runner Black Lotus plot is being kept under wraps for now, the producers have confirmed the story will take place in the year 2032 and will include some familiar characters from the Blade Runner universe. Okay.
There we go.
Yay. I mean,
So, the history of Blade Runner, yes.
Yeah, so, no new information has been revealed of it yet,
So it's sort of an in-between cool series.
Yeah. And apparently there have been other animes based off of Blade Runner. There's one called, Blade Runner Blackout 2022, which is an anime short film that's currently available on Crunchyroll. And apparently this is not the first time that Blade Runner has been adapted into an anime. I guess because of Blade Runner 2049, they want to do an anime based off that, which, okay, that's fair enough. Trust me, this will not be the only bit of news we'll be discussing about in terms of anime and live action series or movie.
Right.
Get comfortable.
I actually do like Blade Runner, and I am a fan of cyberpunk anime, so I'm like, a part of me is a little bit leery of this, but another part of me is like, but this has like everything that I like in it, so
yeah. So that's fair enough.
I'm just hearing Japanese adaptation of Blade Runner, and I'm just thinking, you mean Snatcher?
Sure, Snatcher.
Right, not.
Let's see. Squidman 6000 says Cowboy Bebop is getting a live action version. Talk about that. Okay, we will. So let me see if I can actually find it.
List, so.
But I'm terrified of any news of Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is just it's when it's good, it is painful. You know. Because I got into Cowboy Bebop and I was really invested, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I like this. Is it 25 episodes, and then like nothing.
A movie,
and then it's like nothing, and it was at that point there was no movie yet. There was nothing. That was it, and I was like, why? It's just nothing. No characters just go. No, what? How? Why? What? And I was just like, okay, what's my favorite show right now? Well, that one that isn't around anymore. And then they got the manga out, and I'm like, oh, cool. More stories associated with these characters. I gotta read it, but fuck, okay, I get the manga. What was it? 6 issues, and then they stopped. Something like very small. It got canceled very quickly, and it's like, God damn it! So they have the movie, and the movie's like, okay, we have a movie, just one, but it's there. Boom, Cowboy Bebop. I'm enjoying it. Those games that came out in Japan never came to America. Just disappointment. Thy name is Cowboy Bebop, and I'm like,
yeah.
So hearing that there's going to be a live action Cowboy Bebop series, I'm thinking, what about this is going to break my heart?
They're doing this solely to torture you, Decker. It's all about you.
Yep, all about you. All right, so yes, Netflix will be making a live-action Cowboy Bebop series. Continuing on the apparent quest to secure the loyalty of classic anime fans, Netflix is following up yesterday's Evangelion news, which apparently is that they are going to be having Neon Genesis Evangelion on Netflix, by acquiring a new version of Cowboy Bebop. This time is doing the noir-ish bounty hunter series set in space as a live-action TV show, and has commissioned 10 episodes that will be co-produced by Tomorrow Studios. We don't know a lot about the show yet, but the director of the anime series, Shinichiro Watanabe, is listed as a consultant. The original anime ran for 26 episodes with a movie that...
Excuse me.
25, 26. What's the diff? With the movie that arrived later, Netflix has tried its hand at live-action anime adaptations before with Death Note, and we hope that that experience leads to a better result with efforts like this one and its Avatar: The Last Airbender series. Marty Adelstein, or Adelstein, whatever it is, the CEO of Tomorrow Studios, is listed as an executive producer and is working on TV series versions of Snowpiercer and Hannah. It has announced development of the show back in June, and
What?
as the company said,
I'm confused by the name Snowpiercer. My mind is just of someone with a stiletto just kneeling down in a blizzard, stabbing the hell out of the ground. Like, am I just crazy? I'm crazy.
Yeah. Just assume the answer is yes.
Yeah, I'm crazy. Amanda
Chris,
Tucker says that worries me.
yeah, Chris Yost from Thor: The Dark World, Thor: Ragnarok, and Max Steel will write the first episode, and Javier Grillo Marxuich from Lost and Helix has been confirmed to writing it as well. And there's some various other tweets about it. So yeah, Cowboy Bebop live action should be interesting. I don't know if it's going to be good, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Jason X9000 says, you lost me at Max Steel. I remember Max Steel.
I think I was referring to the movie.
I still remember Max Steel, like the series.
Yeah, I think they were talking about the recent movie that happened.
Or as I called it when I was a kid, 3D Studio Max Steel.
Yes, we actually did discuss about the Liam Neeson Snowplow movie. There was a trailer of it, and I think we did discuss about that in a few episodes ago. So
we discussed about the movie. I don't know if the trailer was out yet. I don't think it was, because I remember I had to come up with Liam Neeson on the snowplow like this, put that together. Like, here we go.
Yeah. And yeah, we already discussed about a Devil May Cry anime in the last episode of Live and Wired, if I remember, because I do know that the guy who produced Castlevania, the series on Netflix, was doing Devil May Cry. So I think we did talk about that.
And Patrick Johnson says Snowpiercer sounds like someone would name their D&D character.
I roll a 20, and I'm gonna pierce snow into this orc.
I was saying it's a elven rogue, Snowpiercer, basilisk gooch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I'm not good at naming D&D characters.
I never played D&D in my life.
And he used to run campaigns, and he's bad, and he's this bad at it.
I just called the dudes things like Henry. It's like the evil Lord Bob has his army of undead Dragoliths.
This is Bob. Bob has found new confidence with his army of Dragoliths.
You must find... God damn Bob's confidence.
Yes, Bob has so much
into a Cialis commercial in my head.
Bob has so much charisma that his overconfidence is overcompensating the fact that he can't lift his sword.
God damn it, it's still a Cialis commercial. Stop it.
Well, that should be just about everybody in D&D. Have you seen some of these things? They're like as big as a human person. And yet you have this skinny elf who's swinging it around like it's made out of cotton.
Yeah. You wonder how a two-handed sword can be handled by one person and they can swing it around with their finger.
Yeah.
Magic?
Sure, it is possible. I always think about that, that little audio clip of, the guys playing D&D, and then there's this one guy who's asking for the Cheetos and the Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah. Where are the Cheetos? Right next to you. Where's the Mountain Dew? It's in the fridge! Duh! Can I have the Mountain Dew? Yes, you can have the Mountain Dew! Just go get it!
Are there girls there? Yes. Why? Because if there are, then I want to do them.
I want to cast magic missiles. Why cast magic missiles? There's nothing to attack them. I'm attacking the darkness.
Okay.
let's talk about one anime adaptation that's going to be coming out, because let's get our weeaboo stuff out of the way.
Aww.
I know, but don't worry, we got YouTube news to cover, so that'll make you happy.
Yay!
All right, last one. We're going to be getting a new Ghost in the Shell series in 2020.
Yes! 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 Okay, I'm over it.
Okay, great. So, Creepy, why don't you read this one?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the anime project is debuting just 2 years after a 2017 film adaptation sparkled backlash over the whitewashing of the lead role.
Controversy!
And I mean, like, you thought that casting a white woman in the role of a Japanese character would not catch people's eye? Oh, well. Netflix's new Ghost in the Shell series, the one featuring a Japanese 3D computer graphics rendered main character, is set to land in 2020. Yes, a new Ghost in the Shell anime is coming, Netflix announced on Twitter on Friday alongside an illustration of the lead character, Motoko Kusanagi. Ghost in the Shell, SAC 2045, pardon me, excuse me, indigestion, will be directed by Appleseed's Shinji Aramaki. Ooh, cool. And Ghost in the Shell standalone complexes Kenji Kamiyama. Blah. Kenji Kamiyama. I can do this. I'm better than that. On Netflix in 2020. Desire to explore the true meaning of human consciousness intensifies, the tweet continues. The new series will be released in Japanese 3D CG by co-directors Kamiyama and Aramaki, as well as production studios Production IG and Sola Digital Arts. We've heard that name before tonight.
Nerdy John TO2 says, "Wow, cyberpunk revival is real."
Very real. Patrick Johnson says, I can almost feel the Naruto headband growing in my forehead. Nice.
Okay, where was I? It's a next generation animated film and the first Ghost in the Shell made by double directors, Netflix touts in a statement. Co-directors Kamiyama and Aramaki are also currently helming Netflix's Ultraman, an anime about a Japanese superhero. Yeah, which will arrive.
That's a pretty basic description.
Yeah, which will arrive on the streaming platform on April 1st, 2019.
Maybe.
Whenever something is announced as debuting on April 1st, I immediately stop and wonder. The announcement comes just 1 year after the release of Rupert Sanders' live-action adaptation of the original Ghost in the Shell manga by Masamune Shiro came under fire for casting a white actress, Scarlett Johansson, in the role of Kusanagi. After 2 years of controversy following the announcement of Johansson's casting, the film fared poorly with reviewers and American audiences, grossing just $40 million domestically. Previously, the Shiro manga was adapted in a beloved 1995 animated film and its 2004 sequel, Innocence, as well as a 2015 Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. And those movies are awesome, and you should all totally watch them. On television, it has been adapted into 2002's Ghost in the Shell standalone complex and 2013's Ghost in the Shell Arise. Again, watch those. This version of Ghost in the Shell was first announced in 2017.
Yay. So, more Ghost in the Shell, people.
Yeah, the cyberpunk revival. That would be interesting, because I'm just thinking, like, there's a lot of things that I enjoy that I haven't seen in a long time. Like a proper video game adaptation that really tries hard to do a decent job with a little property called Shadowrun.
Yes, you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
There have been Shadowrun games, but the last good ones, really good ones that I know of, were on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Like full-on role-playing games. You create your character, you go, you have your exploration. Here's the world, do your stuff. I think there might have been a PC game too that was isometric, but I was kind of indie, like low budget. I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't see too much of it, but I know there was the Shadowrun FPS on 360, I believe, and it was just an arena shooter, just multiplayer only. Here's a little map with a bunch of people, go shoot each other, and you got magic.
Real quickly, Decker, someone in the comments raised a valid point. Nerdy John TO2 asks, what is Shadowrun? And for the people who aren't aware of that, Give a quick description of it.
Shadowrun is kind of when a guy playing D&D sits down and says, why the hell does it always have to be medieval times? Why can't it be fucking cyberpunk? But we still have orcs and ghouls and monsters and magic, but it's in the not too distant future with laser guns and shit. And computers. And the internet. And you have the hackers, or as they're called, deckers.
He's very proud of himself for that.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right. Well, actually, I actually misquoted myself. There is one more anime bit of news, but you know what? We're gonna save that till much later because I think that 3 bits of anime news in a row. I think that let's just cover something different.
My weebiness.
Yes, your weebiness, but don't worry, we'll get back to that.
John Horn dropped $5 saying, "I ate too much dark chocolate once. It gave me the Shadowruns."
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us know. Too much information. All right, so let's go into some horror news. Let's take a break from the anime stuff. So, we have the trailer for Happy Death Day to You. The Groundhog Day inspired horror comedy returns. Jessica Roth relives the worst day of her life all over again in the sequel to last year's ridiculous horror hit from Blumhouse. So
that's what's confusing me because I didn't see the first one, but I saw the trailer for the first one, and I saw the trailer for the second, and the trailers are vastly different in tone. I don't know what the movie is, but I know the trailers are.
All right, well, Decker, why don't you read this one?
Lest you forget history is doomed to repeat itself, Blumhouse Productions is releasing a sequel to its late 2017 entry into the comedy horror canon, Happy Death Day. In the case of Happy Death Day to You, however, history repeating itself is a very good and chillingly entertaining thing. The newly released trailer from Universal Pictures recaps the first film while putting protagonist Tree Gelbman, Jessica Roth. Tree? Her name's Tree?
Maybe she had hippie parents.
Okay. Through the ringer of terrifying twists and comic turns once again. In the original Happy Death Day, Roth plays a college student who is murdered on the night of her birthday, only to wake up and start the same day over again every time she dies. Her never-ending cycle of death ceases only when she finds out the identity of the killer. In the sequel, Tree discovers her nightmare occurring again, except this time, everyone she knows is dying as well. In order to save her friends, she takes matters into her own hands, killing herself in a string of high dives before the clown masked killer can get to her.
Yeah. Oh, we got more. Okay, there you go.
Making $122 million at the box office, Happy Death Day was a surprise hit for Blumhouse in 2017, which had already struck gold with Get Out earlier in the year. The movie delighted critics as well, who praised its campy slasher film elements and high comedic turns. IndieWire's own Kate Earlbland called the movie as much the kind of dizzy fun as slasher horror can possibly be. Jason Blum once again produces, and Christopher Landon returns to write and direct this next chapter, while Happy Death Day executive producers Angela Mancuso and John Ladecki are newly joined by Ep Samson Mook. What the? Scott's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Check out the trailer for Happy Death Day 2 to You below. Be warned, the trailer contains spoilers for Happy Death Day. Yeah, it certainly does. I saw the trailer in theaters, and dear God, it spoiled the fuck out of the first movie to me.
Oh, well. You're very welcome, Brandon, for reading your comment. And and there's a whole bunch of comments where saying, really, this needed a sequel? And Darth Necrosis says, oh, Lord, I saw this. It looks like it's gone full parody and acknowledges it. So, all right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I guess that with the first movie, it, being a horror comedy, and I guess the second one, it tries to make fun of itself. I don't know.
I guess the first was hard. I mean, based on the trailer for the first, I didn't think it was going to be that zany, but the trailer for the second was just all kinds of, hi, we're almost scary movie here.
Well, at least it's not a Seltzer and Freeberg movie. That's for sure. Could be worse. John Ratsey says, "What's next? Friday the 13th is going to become a horror comedy." Please don't say it out loud. We've seen ridiculous things happen in Live and Wired that people say, "Oh, what's next? This is going to happen," and then I have to show them an article that it's true, and then they say, "I was joking." So please don't.
Like
don't
the
push
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
How?
Which apparently
why?
which apparently was given like a quick little screening, like a few seconds of the movie, and they were like giving their thoughts on it, and some people were like, "Oh, this is like really insane." It's like what's going on? Why are they making a movie on Sonic that looks like this? So, oh boy. $5 comment from Dan Inik Hatton. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Shadowrun returns Dragonfall in Hong Kong by some of the same people that did the tabletop game. It's a turn-based tactical game like XCOM.
Yeah, I think that's the one for PC. I still gotta get that. But I do want like a full kind of like one really fun thing with Shadowrun on Sega Genesis was it was action RPG, which you also didn't get as much of that at the time. Like actual like it's got action elements, the combat's real time and all that, and also you do gain experience and you do gain levels and you do have skills. I mean, usually you'd have an action adventure in 16-bit, or you'd have the stats and skills, but everything is completely turn-based and menu-driven.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and John Ratsey, the whole thing you were saying about I will eat my own socks if comedic Friday the 13th movie happens, I'm going to actually put that down on a sheet of paper, and if that ever happens for whatever reason, I'm going to remind you.
And Dane Ikahetan says you can build your own characters in Shadowrun Returns, I assume. So yeah, that I should let's play that. That's what I should. I should stream that on my gaming channel to the world so they can watch me look at all of the numbers and all of the graphs and all of the menus that I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at, and I'm just gonna go click die, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. The SD100 says ridiculous things, Patricia. You mean like the serial monsters call out to writers, actors, etc. for ideas to develop them into productions? Oh, I'm sure we can find some more ridiculous stuff. I mean, after all, the night's still young.
Reggie Witt dropped 20 Canadian dollars saying, "You guys are the special three that I love listening to after a hard day when I want to chillax and be happy." And, thank you very much. That means I hope that I pronounced your name right, because if I didn't, then that's...
All right, so while we're looking for ridiculous stuff, I've been challenged. So I actually did find something that I was like, are you serious that they're thinking about doing this? So, well, I was shopping the other day for things for the holidays, and I decided to get some, scented, plugins and scented candles to make it smell like Christmas. You think of pine trees and apple cider and Christmas cookies and what have you. But apparently there's a little company known as A24 that decided that they should have a new type of scent, a scent of movie genres. So whenever that you're watching a movie and you want to get into the mood, into the spirit of it, you can buy whatever of these scents that we have here. So for the transformative power that movies have, one immersive gift they cannot bestow is the one that targets the keenest of senses, which is smell.
Yeah, sadly, this isn't the first time I've seen something like this. I know everyone's really hating Bethesda right now, but before, Bethesda did have their scented candles for their VR games. If you're playing Skyrim VR, buy the official Bethesda scented candle that smells like Skyrim to burn in the room while you're playing, and you're going to feel really like you're there.
I'm just going to skip over. So,
especially when the candle falls over and your apartment catches fire and you're fighting the dragon. It's going to be really immersive.
So A24's online shop is set to launch the new line of A24 X Joya genre scented candles in conjunction with Brooklyn-based fragrance studio Joya. It covers 6 movie genres: horror, western, thriller, noir, adventure, and musical. With the promise
What does noir smell like? Cigar smoke?
Noir? Yeah, probably cigar smoke, maybe whiskey.
No. Gin soaked speakeasy. That's what noir smells like.
Maybe I'm thinking leather gloves, rope, maybe car exhaust.
I assume
The-
Western just smells like horse shit.
Sure. Okay.
John Ratsey is asking, what do musicals smell like?
Oh, depending on the musical, I would think they are maybe sweet scented or bombastically over the top scented.
I'm hoping it smells like those little wax harmonicas that you used to get that had a little bit of, spicy, cinnamony kind of, little some kind. I don't know. They had all kinds of flavors in the little wax harmonicas. You play it, and then when you're done playing harmonica, because you've never really cared about playing harmonica anyway, you chew on the damn thing.
Yes. So the descriptions for each genre are pretty vivid, which only piques our curiosity even more. Who wouldn't enjoy a perfectly balanced blend of mandarin, clove leaf, cypress, suede, and cinnamon bark?
Runs with Mooses says hairspray smells like hairspray.
Oh, damn it, that's good. Singing in the rain smells like rain.
And Kevin Burdine says, I'm leaving this stream if you're going to ignore me, Decker Shadow. Sorry?
Anyway, I'm actually curious. I'm probably going to take a look into their shop to see what they got. So
I'm probably going to buy these. Just to try and figure out how do these smell.
Selected scent. So let's take a look at some of the scent details. Okay, horror.
C100 says, and the snozberries smell like snozberries.
Okay, so horror smells like mandarin, clove leaf, cypress, suede, cinnamon bark. The inspirations come from fangs, glowing eyes, remote lakeside cabins, foreboding shadows on walls, bloody knives, low-angle staircase shots, dilapidated houses silhouetted on a hill, and black cats.
Well, that's well and good, but how the hell does that have anything to do with mandarin and cinnamon bark?
Wood and cabins for horror? I don't know.
The cypress, I get for the wood. Cinnamon bark. Well, cinnamon is the bark.
That's
it's
right.
Just the smell of cinnamon. But
Sure. I'll say Western smells like fir needle, eucalyptus, saddle leather, firewood, bourbon, vanilla, sweet balsam. Inspiration includes boot spurs, campfires, wanted posters, saloon doors, bloody arrows, horses, saddles, guns in and out of holsters, whiskey glasses, men walking into sunsets.
Patrick Johnson says Michael Bay candles smell like explosions, and that put a really bad mental image in my head.
Napalm.
I was thinking of a poor bastard lighting the Michael Bay candle, and it's actually dynamite.
Okay, let's see what a thriller smells like. Blood orange, tobacco absolute, Russia leather and metal, clary sage, and juniper. Inspiration includes fingerprints, ransom notes, cover-ups, bundles of dynamite, ticking clocks, police sirens, briefcases of money, binoculars, open windows with a draft coming in, and the edges of buildings and cliffs.
I don't see how the I don't understand. Where we thought about this.
Sure. Noir, wild honey, lemon, concrete, amber, jasmine, vetiver. Inspiration, sheets of rain hitting pavement at night, a name stenciled on a frosted glass door, lucky strikes, face obscuring hats, tape recorders, significant glances, typewriters, and the lingering scent of a woman. I guess it explains the wild honey and jasmine. Adventure, rosemary, Spanish sage, white grapefruit, white thyme, juniper twig, and cedar. Inspiration includes desert sandstorms, treasure, torchlights reflected on cave walls, hand-drawn maps with burnt edges, cryptic symbols, swinging vines, machetes, and precarious rope bridges. And last but not least, we have
Keep your hand-drawn maps away from your torches.
And last but not least, we have the musical. Fig leaf, muskmelon, pink pepper, rainwater, magnolia, lily of the valley. Inspiration, lamppost, top hats, piano, snapping fingers, women dancing in concrete circles, tuxedo men moving in sync. Oh yeah, concentric. I'm sorry, I can't read. Tap shoes, a black cane with a white tip, and giggling around a telephone. So
what? Giggling around a telephone? What?
I don't know. Okay, so if any of this interests you guys, then all you have to do is just go over to A24 and purchase your scented candles while you're watching Friday the 13th or the West Side Story. So It's about
Corey 2000 saying Nightmare on Elm Street candles smell like burning human flesh.
Yeah,
Yep.
so $48.
Oh.
Burn time is about 50 to 60 hours. So
Patrick Johnson says the asylum candle is just a crayon with a wick glued to it.
Okay, that's funny. But no candles that smell like human flesh. That burning human flesh is not a pleasant smell.
no, it's not. Unless you want to consider that if you read on some really twisted interviews from morticians who apparently they burn, people into ashes, and there's some really messed up stuff. Like apparently, uh, I don't think I even want to mention it. Like apparently people, when they're morbidly obese, they smell like bacon when they burn. It's like, really? That just makes it awkward. I think there was like one time in which like they were asking about like, oh, is there barbecue cooking? It's like, no, there's a dead guy being burned in the bottom. It's like, ugh. So yeah. So burning flesh. It could either smell like it exactly what I think it is, or bacon, apparently. Ugh.
Well, they say, pigs and humans are very similar physiologically, and if you, it's an interesting little thing.
Fair enough.
Also, pigs enjoy eating ham too.
Mm.
They're weird. I don't like pigs. People are weird too. I don't like them either.
All right. Well, let's go. Okay, so enough of the weird. And by the way, I actually did have another scented news, saved for Live and Wired, where apparently that they're trying to recreate what it smells like to talk to somebody in chat. But I decided not to do that because we already have too much to talk about as it is. So let's go over to our next. Let's go over to our next set of news. So
Neon Genesis Evangelion candle smells sadness and death. I'm wondering, what does a Predator candle smell like? It's like chicken, everything.
Yeah. Brett Peterman says, "What's next? Movie taste flavors." It that kind of reminds me of an episode of The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, where Jimmy invents like chewing gum based off of books so that people can be able to memorize the books that they have to do homework on, so they don't have to take time to read it. And each of them had like a different distinct flavor. Like Gone with the Wind tasted like fried chicken, and Moby Dick tasted like fish. So yeah, you know what? Technology is a very funny thing.
But a whale is a mammal.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I guess. I mean, what does whale taste like?
I'm gonna have to ask an Inuit.
I don't want to know.
Anybody who knows what whale tastes like, leave it in the chat. All right, so
it's like whale, okay?
So let's go over to our
endangered.
Let's go over to our next set of news. All right, so we have John Carpenter news. John Carpenter confirms he is ready to score the next Halloween sequel. He also hints at a third Lost Themes volume in the not-so-distant future. Okay, I think it's Creepy's turn.
Alrighty then.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just turn off the video because...
Thank you.
Seriously, stupid ads. Okay, continue.
Okay. Even before David Gordon Green's Halloween obliterated the box office, becoming the highest grossing slasher film of all time, Blumhouse made it quite clear they were already working on a sequel. While it's still uncertain if Green or co-writer Danny McBride will be involved, fans can count on one familiar face returning to the fold, John Carpenter. In an interview... I'm hearing noises now.
Things I should turn off.
In an interview with Consequence of Sound, to be published later this month, the Master of Horror says he loved working on Green's film and that he'd be happy to score the sequel, insisting, "We'll be ready. We've all talked about it. We'll be ready." I think he's trying to tell us that he'll be ready. He also confirms that a Lost Themes 3 remains in the works, which he alluded to in a past interview with our Halloweenies podcast. I will never stop looking at the word Halloweenies and feeling disgust. We've been putting together some music, he says, but insists his band, which comprises of son Cody Carpenter and godson Daniel Davies, is currently taking a much-needed break. The group is not intensely working on anything, he clarifies, but we'll get back together and do some more
Hey, we got a little information as to exactly what a whale tastes like. The Nestine 100 in the comments says, best way to describe what raw whale tastes like rubber tire and salt. Was a teacher in a small community for a little over 6 years.
Okay, well, thank you very much, the Nestine 100. Now we know what it tastes like.
Very true.
Also, Patricia, you're off of the article.
Ah, damn it. I was trying to come up with a new Twitter poll. I forgot that. Okay, go ahead. What is Halloweeny, by the way, Creepy?
Halloweenies are what Halloween fans call themselves.
Oh, I was thinking about like the Halloweeny episode from Pete and Pete.
Yeah, Patrick Johnson says Halloweenies. They went with that name. They're proud of that name. There are
no words.
All right, well, now I know. Thank you very much. So
keep a lookout for the full interview in the weeks ahead. In the meantime, revisit our recent season of filmography, which went deep into Carpenter's entire oeuvre from 1974's Dark Star to 2010's The Ward.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, now you can go back to the Twitter poll thing.
Yeah, I'm going to write one. So, John Carpenter possibly doing a soundtrack for the new Halloween sequel. Considering on how well it did, I'm not surprised that they're picking a sequel up net right away.
Mm-hmm. Strike while the iron is hot, is what they say. And Nicole7891 points out, better than Halloweener.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's better. Halloweeny is better than Halloweener.
It's true. I mean, I guess you're right. Now that I think about it, it's actually not too bad.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm currently working on the new Twitter poll, so I'm just trying to find some good ones to put in. I think I do have an idea.
Corey 2000 says maybe Decker should do an episode on how long a slasher villain could survive before their body fails them. And I'm thinking, they tend to not fail them. And even if they do, they just kind of come back anyway. Jason literally died, and then he came back. And then his body was completely destroyed, and then he came back. And then he got dragged down to hell, and then he just came back anyway. You're like, fuck it, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I'm still around. Something else happened. I don't know.
All right. So I actually did come up with a quick Twitter poll, which I'll post it on my Twitter. So going into the recent discussion about genres and scented candles. So my Twitter poll for this week is: what genre would you like to see a scented candle based on? We have sci-fi, we have romance, we have indie films, and we have YouTube videos.
See, the indie film is just a straight wax candle with like a little bit of pepper sprinkled on it.
And maybe people will find the simplicity of it.
Actually, I felt like a indie film candle would smell like hipster.
Nicholas Walker dropped $5 asking, have you guys talked about the passing of Steven Hellenberg, creator of SpongeBob SquarePants?
No.
We have not brought that up. And yeah, I personally did not watch SpongeBob, so I'm not. I only know SpongeBob through the memes, really.
All right. Well, I just posted the Twitter poll. You guys have 30 minutes starting now, and I'll leave a link on the chat.
Now, if there were more Rocco's Modern Life memes,
well, there are a lot of it based on Wacky Deli.
Well,
I'm sure
Wacky Deli. That was the greatest episode.
There'll be a lot more of it when the movie comes out.
Wacky Deli, yeah. Wacky Deli, yeah.
I am the cheese. I am the greatest character on the show. I am better than the salami and the bologna combined. All right. Well, there you go, guys. So
mayonnaise.
Have fun.
Mayonnaise.
All right, let's go over to our next set of news. So, in the last episode of Live and Wire, we discussed more information about the sequel to Leprechaun called Leprechaun Returns. And some people were wondering about why haven't they brought back Warwick Davis into the movie? He was the original Leprechaun. He should be in this movie. So there was a recent interview discussing about that. So this is the reason why, according to uh, horror movie news, Arrow in the Head or Joblo.com, whatever it decides to call itself, on why Warwick Davis is not coming back to, doing this movie. So whose turn is it to read?
I think it's mine.
Okay,
but
go ahead.
I clicked on a bunch of other things, so okay, here we go. Alrighty. Stephen Kostanski's Stephen Kostanski's Leprechaun sequel is being released by Lionsgate next month and is being touted as a direct sequel to the first film. Mark Halton, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, reprises the role of Ozzy from the original 1993 flick, and judging by lines in the trailer, the heroine is the daughter of Jennifer Aniston's character from the original. Not only that, but Lyndon Porco is taking over the role of the titular Green Meanie from franchise mainstay Warwick Davies this time around. But why did Davies choose not to return along with the Leprechaun for Leprechaun Returns? Well, it turns out he's become quite a family man in the years since. Leprechaun back to the hood and doesn't think horror movies are the right choice for himself as an actor this time. Specifically, he says, we did 6 Leprechaun films, and around Halloween, people always watch them and love them. Horror is an interesting medium. I think it's different when you have kids. You look at horror in a slight different way. Since I finished the Leprechaun films, I had kids, and I see the world through their eyes, and to be in a horror movie right now is probably not quite right. I will wait until my son turns 18, and then I'll do some horror. Not to, get too much into Davies' personal life here, but he mentions his son turning 18 before he makes another horror film. Well, his son is 15, so maybe that means he'll return sooner than later. Let's hope so, as Leprechaun film without Davies is no doubt going to be at least slightly disappointing. Not that I don't think the new film won't be a hoot, I'm just saying Davies is the Leprechaun, so they are metaphorically big shoes to fill. Directed by Kostanski from a screenplay by Suzanne Kelly, the sequel tells the following story. When the sorority sisters of the Alpha Upsilon House decide to go green and use an old well as their water source, they unwittingly awaken a pint-sized green-clad monster. The Leprechaun wants a pot of gold buried nearest the sorority house, but first, he must recover his powers with a killing spree, and only the girls of Awe can stop him. Porco and Holton's co-stars include Taylor Tiddler, Pepe Sybin, these guys. And the original plan for the film was for it to premiere on Sci-Fi on St. Patrick's Day 2019. It may air on Sci-Fi in March, but we're going to have the chance to watch it 3 months earlier as Leprechaun Returns is being released on digital and video on demand on December 11th.
Okay, so that means it's going to be released 4 days from now.
3 days.
3. Holy crap, 3 days from now. Wow.
Oh.
Hearing this, I'm not surprised that Warwick Davis is kind of off, didn't take the offer because, he has kids. Same thing happened with Eddie Murphy and, Cheech Marin when they were, offered a whole bunch of roles that they used to do, but they decided not to because they had kids already, which I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I'm thinking of having the kidinator. And it's like the procreation to have the infant that then grows into this person. And I'm thinking but I review and watch a shitload of horror and action and R-rated stuff. And I'm thinking, it's all right there, public for everyone to see. I want to keep doing that. And if I'm growing a human being, after the first 9 months, I'm not doing it before that. That's someone else's job. Sure. But if I'm feeding him, hey, go run, and he's like, you're not running, I'm like, no excuses. I just trying to set an example for him. Yeah, I think maybe my obsession with Japanese lady legs might get in the way a bit. But what do I do about that? Do I just stop, or do I be like, that's just my job. You're not allowed to watch my videos.
That's fair. We have a $2 comment from Motorcycle US who says, Dicker, how many horror movies bring back the survivors?
Huh. Not usually unless it's to kill them. So...
In the sequel.
Yeah. I mean, when you survive a horror movie, if you're brought back for the next one, it's usually to die, or you're the main girl, or it's Scream. In which case, it's actually sort of building up some sort of storyline over time, and there's like drama and stuff. And it's weird. I don't know. Scream is a weird movie series.
It is.
I just know about, hey, here's the guy. He wants people dead. These people died. These people didn't. Next movie, he's in a different area with different people. These people died. These people didn't. This is a guy who knows what's coming on because he's been there before, and he also knows now because he's dead.
All right. We got some
will you
more.
review Vanilla Ice Goes Amish?
What?
When did Mr. Ice decide to hang around with the Pennsylvania Dutch and shit? Like,
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. I've never heard of it until this comment. So.
Okay. I'm sure somebody will look it up, but in the meantime, I do have our next article to discuss about.
Review Maniac Cop after Robocop. That's an idea.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right. So Sam Raimi looks like he's going back to his horror movie roots with doing an adaptation of the horror novel Shrine for Screen Gems, the studio behind the Raimi-produced Don't Breathe, which I heard really good reviews on. It's been 5 years since the great Sam Raimi directed a movie, and that movie was Oz the Great and Powerful, which I didn't bother to see, to be quite honest. To be even more honest, I didn't much care for his 2 films before Oz, which are Drag Me to Hell and Spider-Man 3. But the man behind The Evil Dead is filmmaking royalty to this horror nerd, and attention must be paid whenever he gets involved with a new genre movie. So, veteran screenwriter Evan Splitiotopoulos, I think, is set to write and direct the film, as well as produce with Raimi and his Ghost House partner Rob Tabbert.
See, I know, like, if you're going to be an actor in Hollywood, usually you get a stage name, something that's a little easier for the general public to be able to pronounce and understand. Is there a thing where if you are working behind the scenes in Hollywood, you get sort of a behind the scenes name where you just add a whole bunch of consonants to your last name?
Yeah. So probably like George J. Thompson III Esquire Smith.
Amanda Tucker says, looks like Vanilla Ice Goes Amish was a TV series in 2013. TV series, that's you, creepy. I'm not doing this one.
Oh, sure. Throw this one in my lap. What have I ever done to you besides a lot, including throwing a bunch of Japanese movies at you?
Well, look at the bright side. There's also the Steven Seagal TV series that I'm sure everybody will be requesting Decker to do, so he has that.
Right.
The one where he's a cop?
Yeah, the one where he's a cop.
And he drove a tank into someone's house?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Matra Kokura gave us £5, who says, finally, day is over. 4.5-hour drive with a 2-hour stage takedown in central London. Time to roll some spliffs.
I have no idea what spliffs are. Ha! Zany British.
There.
So it's like something to smell?
To smoke.
Oh.
Cigarettes. Got it.
No, Decker. The other thing you smoke with.
Incense. Okay.
Sure. Let's go with incense. Yes. Incense. Yes. Okay. What was I? Oh, yeah. As for Shrine... oh, wait, no, I didn't. Oh, yeah. Ghost House partner Rob Tabbert, Screen Gems executives Scott Strauss and Michael Bitar will oversee on behalf of the studio, while Romel Adam will oversee for Ghost House, which has a Grudge reboot coming out next year, which I think we may have discussed about. As for Shrine, the story follows a disgraced journalist who tries to resurrect his career upon discovering a series of seemingly divine miracles in a small New England town, though he soon learns that the miracles may have a much darker source. Herbert is described as the Stephen King of the UK, having sold 54 million books worldwide. I'm not familiar with his work, sadly. The same could be said for Splitiooptopoulos, even though we once had lunch together several years ago. Back then, he was an up-and-coming writer who had made his bones writing direct-to-video animated movies. I was impressed with his story, and as that can be a tough corner of the industry to escape from, but he's really paid his dues and worked his ass off to get to the point. He has a dozen films in his development around town. I may have missed Hercules with Dwayne Johnson, The Huntsman Winter's War with Chris Hemsworth, and Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast, but I will say that he's earned the chance to direct, and I wish him the best of luck. So, yeah. Sam Raimi's next project will be a horror movie based off of a book about a disgraced journalist who tries to resurrect his career and goes to a New England town and learns that miracles have a darker source. That sounds definitely like a Stephen King novel. I hope it's not Maine. Please let it be Vermont.
Yeah, what?
But it's not Stephen King. It's not Stephen King. It's somebody else. I mean, I know he's called the UK Stephen King, but it doesn't. Just because it's New England doesn't mean it's Maine.
It could be New Hampshire. It doesn't have to be Vermont. Why does the evil have to come from my place? Okay.
There you go. I mean, we could have New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island. No, okay.
Maine. Gotta be Maine.
Mm-hmm.
They got good lobsters up there.
Maybe that's why Stephen King writes all of his books about Maine, because of the lobsters. Sure.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? All right. I think that's enough of a break from the anime news. So let's discuss about our final bit of anime news. And I know that Creepy's going to be really excited about this one. So last year, Creepy and I, we did a Sailor Moon podcast, and Creepy actually discussed about the Sailor Moon musical that was exclusive in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some news by the Nerdist that the Sailor Moon musical is actually coming to the U.S.
Oh, great! Now I gotta take my fiance down to see it.
Yay! I will see it. Okay, you can read this one, Creepy.
Alrighty then. The adventures of Usagi Tsukino and her magical alter ego Sailor Moon have been enchanting fans all over the world since 1991. And yes, it's been that long. Whether you first fell in love with the manga, anime, one of the 3 feature films, or just the hilarious memes that have saturated the internet, it's unlikely that you're unaware of the cultural phenomenon that is Sailor Moon. What you might not know, though, is that there's an incredible live-action Sailor Moon musical, which has been the stuff of legend for U.S. fans. And in some brilliant news today, the official Sailor Moon website shared the news that the show would be coming to Washington, D.C. and New York City in March 2019, which means, Decker, you've got a hell of a drive ahead of you.
Damn. And in March, that's your birthday, so yeah, I have that drive ahead of me. I do.
Drive, flight, something. Am I sensing Decker and Creepy road trip crossover in the future?
Ooh, that would be fun.
Pretty good.
Darth Necrosis says, "What's next? Akira the musical? Don't tempt it. It's going to happen." Okay, continue, Creepy.
Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon The Super Live is described as a 2.5-dimensional musical, which is what Japan calls live productions that are based on 2D formats like manga. It focuses on the Sailor Scouts, and in the Japanese version, it's an entirely female cast, including the actor who plays Usagi's useless love interest, Tuxedo Mask. According to reviews online, the show preaches the same message about strong women teaming up, and it includes a lot of incredible, overzealous choreography.
How is Tuxedo Mask useless?
I think they're talking about from the original and not Crystal, because I do know that in Crystal he does more, because Crystal is focused mostly on what the manga tells of Sailor Moon, not the anime that just basically did its own thing.
Right.
Undoomed dropped $5 saying, Dr. Shadow, you're going to review Moontrap 1989, Bruce Campbell and Walter Koenig. Seems right up your alley. Anyway, keep up the good work. And,
Oh.
yeah, thanks. Moontrap. Can't recall. Bruce Campbell and Walter Koenig. Yes, that does sound right up my alley, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a nice thing about when, even if you haven't watched every movie in the world, and you put out your opinions like this, a lot of people will say, "Hey, this sounds like something you'd like," and more often than not, they are absolutely correct. So
I get a lot of those too. You know, like the only reason I don't take people's more suggestions to review things is because I'm kind of mired in all of the things I'm trying to review right now. So it's like I can't quite do them right away. But anyway, where was I? Okay. According to reviews online, the show preaches the same message about strong women teaming up and includes a lot of incredible, overzealous choreography and plenty of fantastic sounding moments like Usagi wearing giant wings and shooting people with a bright pink light blast called Starlight Honeymoon Therapy Kiss. That's actually something from the final season of the original series, Sailor Moon Stars. That was her final attack there.
Which is now going to finally be translated to English and released officially, right?
Yeah, we discussed about that last time.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I just wanted to reiterate because it's like, yay!
Right. That is finally coming. Yeah, we're finally going to get to watch the Starlights transform from dudes into women. So, yay. If that's not enough to sell you on this, then we don't know what is. Is there any more? Also, just for a comment. Okay, here we go. While details are currently scarce, you can follow the show on Instagram to keep up with the latest Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the super live news. And if tickets go on sale, you better let us know. Will you be checking this out? Can't wait to see Usagi in the flesh. Let us know below. And if you don't mind, strictly speaking, the poster for this right here is gorgeous.
It looks amazing, actually.
I mean, I'm kind of taken by it because I'm like, wow, they really went all out with that, and I kind of love it.
In reference to Sailor Moon Stars, Satoshi Katsumoto asks, is it going to be an uncute dub? I meant uncut. And I'm just thinking of an uncute dub of Sailor Moon.
Uncute.
Tuxedo Mask, what are you doing here?
Yes, I believe it's going to be uncut. I think that Viz Media has done theirs uncut. You get to see all the stuff that Deke had removed because 90s censorship.
Right.
I don't. It's just what I always talk about when I remember the censorship. Is like this. It wasn't like 4Kids. A lot of things actually were shown. They just called it something else.
Right.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing about this for a long time. I've heard about this for several years. And, this production is supposed to be amazing. I mean, it really is supposed to be a treat just to get to go and see. And to be honest with you, I have to admit, I'm a little bit excited that this is going to be shown in the United States. Even if I can't go see it, I'm still kind of squeeing on the inside about this just because this is kind of incredible. And I mean, I know how it's goofy. It's a musical based on an anime, but keep in mind that this is something that has been in production over in Japan for, I want to say, well over a decade. And there were, for fans of Sailor Moon here in the United States, most of them just didn't think this was something they were ever going to get to see. So,
yeah, Patrick Johnson, they're not rice balls, they're jelly donuts. And yeah, that was back when 4Kids was just saying they were different things before they just started putting in sandwiches and stuff in place of all of these. That became a bit of a meme. These donuts are great. Jelly filled are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly filled donut.
Yeah, which creepy. I think I remember in the podcast from last year that you were discussing about like one particular moment with what was it, Sailor Mercury, and there was like a song about her.
Yeah.
So
that was
Sailor Mercury. I just it's like favorite Sailor Scout. And at the same time, I just keep remembering the Americanized Sailor Mercury where they break her legs and put her in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah, that's right. I will never get over the fact that they tried to, have the American version of Sailor Moon in 1995 with trying to diverse it like that. Oh, that was great.
In and of itself, some of the ideas, like the idea that they were writing on like wind sails and so forth, and just some of the ideas that they had were not in and of themselves bad.
A surfboard wheelchair.
But it just
was flying surfboard wheelchair.
They're never gonna get over that. But
Nope.
It wasn't Sailor Moon. Like, this just wasn't a good fit. Calling it Sailor Moon was just bad.
Yeah, it's not Sailor Moon. It was their American attempt.
Right. Like making their own version, like making a show using some of these concepts, fine. Go ahead. Go nuts. But don't call it Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Because it's not.
No. But anyway, long and short of it is, I do like the idea that this is coming to America, and I do like the idea that Decker is going to have to drive his fiance halfway across the country to DC to be able to. I would shoot for DC just because that's the shorter of the two, but yeah, Decker's going to have to drive to DC to treat his fiance to seeing this.
I'm probably just gonna have to spring for an airplane ticket because she does not like driving. So
fair enough. I would go see this in a heartbeat myself, but I already have plans for March.
And that much gas would still cost about as much as an airplane ticket to go back and forth. So
it would cost about the same to fly to DC, I would think.
Yeah,
as it would to buy gas and drive there. Yeah.
Ow, claws Tara. Why is it claws in my lap? Don't just run off. Answer the question. Answer the question, Tara. Why is the claws in my lap? Why? Why are you nipping my nose? Okay. So that's enough cat for the stream.
All right. I'm going to double check to see if the Twitter poll is up. I really regret. I should have probably had that as the Twitter poll. It's like, what anime would you like to see a musical based on? Damn it.
Next time. How about next time? We'll try again next time.
Yeah, well, next time.
We have 2 weeks to have as many anime musicals come up, and we can just theme the whole show around that.
Yeah, trust me. If Akira has a musical or if Dragon Ball Z has a musical, we'll let you know. Naruto apparently had a musical, so that's something. Not too surprising. All right.
Oh God! What? Oh jeez! Focus just went. I got scared that the world was just.
All right. Well, let's go over to our next set of news. So let's go into some video game news, which this one is pretty interesting. So for any teenagers or adults who grew up in the 90s, you probably remember a pretty suggestive game simply known as Leisure Suit Larry. So apparently, I'm not surprised.
The history of this game.
I'm not surprised that Decker knows. Anyway, so yeah, apparently, according to the creator of Leisure Suit Larry, he recently put up the original source code of some of his games for sale on eBay. So if any of you guys are interested in checking it out, then you can do so. So go ahead, Decker, you read this one.
Leisure Suit Larry creator and Sierra Online developer Al Lowe is selling original source codes to his game on eBay. Al Lowe has decided to put source codes for Leisure Suit Larry and Leisure Suit Larry 2 up for sale on eBay. Rare floppies of Dragon's Keep and Bobobette for Apple II computers are also up for grabs. The game that inspired Leisure Suit Larry, Soft Porn, is also available. Never played that one. I did play Soft Porn 2, though. Just so you know, it's not a comedy. It is just straight up. You ever tried to play a text-based RPG? It's like that, but with sex. Again,
I'm not surprised that you know this.
I'm 72 years old, and none of my kids want this junk, said Lowe said in an interview with Jason Lindsay, ex-Sierra developer who goes by Metal Jesus Rocks on YouTube. Really? He's an ex-Sierra developer?
Interesting.
I was not aware of this. Lowe plans to offer up more of his collection on the auction service, such as more Leisure Suit Larry games, King's Quest III, Police Quest 1, Black Cauldron, and others. He was quick to point out the floppies may no longer work, and those who buy the source codes do not own the rights to commercially redistribute. Okay. Makes sense.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. So let's see if we can take a look into that eBay link and see what the items look like so far. So let's see. So far, as of the recording of this live stream, so we have a Leisure Suit Larry license plate, currently up for $58, and a Sierra Christmas card for $405. Damn. A soft porn floppy disk, no box, the game that inspired Leisure Suit Larry, for $305. Baba Bet, an extremely rare Apple game by Al Lowe, 1982 collector's edition, for $10,000. And Dragon's Keep, an extremely rare Apple game by Al Lowe from 1982, up for $1,525. So if any of you guys have that kind of money in your pockets and you're willing to, have a little bit of gaming history for whatever that's worth, then there you go.
But Leisure Suit Larry is just, it's a classic. It's just the joyous, happy combination of adult humor and hard-ass classic games. Because the soft porn there is very... The soft porn game there is very important to the history of Leisure Suit Larry, because Al Lowe was initially commissioned to make a sort of remake of soft porn as a more modern kind of computer game. And the modern computer games at the time were things like King's Quest. That was really amazing graphics at the time. And that's kind of the game he made, but he didn't just take soft porn and make soft porn now with Legos fucking each other. He sort of just used it as a stepping stone, an inspirational point to just poke fun at it mostly and make a hard-ass Sierra adventure game more like King's Quest, that your character happens to be trying to get laid, but will still die for making the wrong decision on all sorts of puzzles. So, yeah. Was it Leisure Suit Larry 3 where I walked into the sauna and immediately died because I was wearing a polyester leisure suit? You had to get the right outfit before you went in there, or you die.
Good to know.
That's Sierra! But there's a Leisure Suit Larry 1, 2, 3, and then 5, and 6. I wonder if that was the last one he worked on, or 7.
Not sure. But
there was no 4. Because after 3, he promised there was not going to be a Leisure Suit Larry 4, and he kept that promise and went straight to 5. That's the kind of series it was. It was a hard-ass adventure puzzle kind of thing. Point-and-click adventure, where technically there was nudity. There was sexual kind of content. Eventually, if you could arse yourself to fight through the hell of getting to it. Until Leisure Suit Larry 7, in which case there was no way to die anymore, and it was relatively easy to get to some sexual content. It was much more comedic and a lot more actual kind of sex stuff going on, but it was also all hand-drawn, a much higher budget kind of thing. It was a fun game in its own right. The PlayStation 2 Leisure Suit Larry game, I don't think he had anything to do with that. It was a completely different kind of game. It was just like, what the fuck is that? But there's a new Leisure Suit Larry game out, and I have to dig into figuring out exactly what that's all about.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I got this time to talk about how much I love Leisure Suit Larry. I'm glad everyone knows now that this is like my early teenage childhood right here.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. And this has been Story Time with Decker Shado.
Great. Yeah. Another new show.
Okay. Who's ready for controversy?
God damn it. No.
How come Decker gets to go to the restroom and I don't?
We're stuck here against our will, creepy. That's why. All right, so let's get this over with. So, Tumblr! Yay!
Yay!
Do we really want to cover this?
I
don't really want to. I really don't. But everybody's going to be wanting for us to talk about this. I'll read this, creepy. I'll take the bullets.
Okay, thank you. I think it's anyway.
Set on my.
Okay, so yeah, Tumblr will be permanently banning adult content from its platform on December 17th in a move that'll eradicate porn-related communities on the platform and fundamentally alter how the service is used. The ban includes explicit sexual content and nudity, with a few exceptions that the company tells The Verge. The new policy announcement comes just days after Tumblr was removed from Apple's iOS App Store over a child pornography incident. It extends beyond that matter alone. Adult content will no longer be allowed there, and these are the things that are being banned, and I don't even want to read this. So yeah, a lot of people are leaving Tumblr and have gone other places. I think that Newgrounds, for some reason, everybody was talking about Newgrounds again, which I haven't heard about Newgrounds since.
Newgrounds publicly came out and said, "Hey, you can post that stuff here, like adult content, not the stuff that." There's a lot of layers to this, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I you know what? I can't do this. I'm going to another one. I'd rather be talking about YouTube news now.
Well, I just want to say it's like with the Tumblr stuff is like some of the reasoning they have is saying, well, we have to crack down on adult content, otherwise there is like illegal adult content. It's like, well, yeah, you don't want that, but other sites have managed to get rid of that without taking out all of that. And also a lot of their method for dealing with the moderation, since it's so large and there's so much stuff and they only have so much manpower, they're going YouTube style on this one. And they've got algorithms to take care of it, which are flagging literally everything. The posts from Tumblr talking about the changes got flagged.
Yeah.
And it's like hints this shit doesn't work, and it flags literally everything. It's right here. So there's all kinds of stuff. Certain I remember one person who makes a living by doing stock poses. Like they're sort of a model, not really. But they do poses to then ask for just credits from artists who use their poses as just sort of something to base a piece of art off of. So they have poses in whatever ways with whatever props and stuff. And because the poses, you need to see their body, they have on, like a sports bra and shorts, like spandex shorts. Like everything they had got marked as, not allowed.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Twitter poll is up, so let's see what the results are. Yay! So once again, the question was, what genre do you want to see a scented candle based on? 71% said sci-fi, what would be the smell of sci-fi?
Ooh, plasma, acid, and what?
And xenomorphs.
12% said romance, which that's probably the easiest thing in the world. Like chocolate, wine, roses. 0% said indie films. This is probably a first for us. We never had a 0% on anything on any of our Twitter polls. So yeah, it's like Decker said, it'll probably just be just a wax candle that smells like a hipster. And then finally, last but certainly not least, 17% said YouTube videos, which I'm
kind of interesting because I figure that those candles would be quite varied. If I would have imagined scented YouTube candles, they would be like little tea lights, but every single one is a different smell.
Darth Necrosis says YouTube would smell like tears and controversy.
Well, that too. That's most of it.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, all right. Thank you so much for the votes, guys. I'm sure that, hopefully by the next one, I can actually do the musical one like I wanted to, that I thought of just like 10 minutes ago. But, well.
Dragon Ball Z, the musical.
Chala, head shada. That's going to be the opening. And then Goku's going to be singing about the struggles of the Kamehameha. Frieza's going to be singing about there's 5 minutes for Namek to be destroyed. And then it lasts all the way up until intermission.
Yeah. And like the 5 minutes for Namek to be destroyed, the song lasts 25 minutes.
Yes.
There's 4 minutes. Like like 7 minutes into the song, there's 4 minutes for Namek to be destroyed.
Yes.
Yes.
I actually want that now.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this.
And then Goku would be singing about the struggles of trying to defeat Frieza, and then he sings about becoming the Super Saiyan, and he's going to destroy him, and Frieza's like, no, and Goku's like, yes.
Oh god, the comments. Lazarus Soul 82 is like the dragon is singing about his balls. Wait. Dark Necrosis, Fist of the North, star of the musical. John Ratsey, Piccolo singing about the specialty in canon. Eddie Herder says the funniest part would be when Frieza gets cut in half and sings about it.
Yeah. Actually, the song I want to hear the most, though, is from Hercule Satin. I want to know what song he would sing. Like, I
am powerful. I am strong. You will love me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It will be like the Gaston song from Beauty and the Beast, except
right, exactly. Yeah. And I'm imagining like there's all these extras. Like it's gonna be like the most overblown production in the entire musical, and that's saying something. But he's gonna have like this mob of people who dance out onto the stage, and they're all chanting "Her sa ta, sa ta."
Okay, my Motorcycle US dropped $2 saying, "Creepy. When have Decker review BL anime with you?"
BL.
When have Decker review BL anime with you?
I have to be a little bit more specific. Which is BL?
I have the internet. Hold on. BL anime. Let's see if anything comes
Epic
up.
Jason X9000 saying Black Lagoon.
Oh, maybe it's Black Lagoon.
Oh, boy love anime, meaning okay.
I want Black Lagoon.
They're talking about like yaoi anime. They're talking about. I was like BL anime, and I was like, okay, I just said that out loud, and then I realized how that sounded. So I was like, okay, I need to clarify. I need to give some context here, like very, very quickly, because that just came out of my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. Motorcycle US did say boys love.
Patrick Johnson says, "Oof."
Darth Necrosis says Nambla, the anime.
Oh god,
No.
Not that kind of boy love.
No.
Like of age, consenting with each other. Kind of.
Right.
I'm imagining One Punch Man as an anime. I punch you, you're dead. I punch you again, you're dead. And then you just, I can imagine that too. But Dragon Ball Z, the anime, would be the best thing ever. I will go see that movie opening day.
Yes.
There probably is a musical for like Astro Boy.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's their Mickey Mouse, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Astro Boy pretty much is Mickey Mouse for Japan, so yeah. If Astro Boy is Mickey Mouse with machine guns that pop out of his thighs.
Yeah, and rocket feet.
And rocket feet, yeah.
Yeah.
And spiky hair.
And that's fun.
I mean, it's like required that at least one anime character has to have spiky hair.
And he's a robot.
And
that's another important thing to mention about this little kid is he does happen to be a robot.
And Corey 2000 says, no, the machine guns are in his ass. Well, yeah.
See, I haven't seen Astro Boy in long enough that I'm actually thinking, like, wait, is there a machine gun in his ass?
Oh, boy. Well, all right. Well, now we can go over to some YouTube news. So this one is actually, yeah. All right. Well, this one is not as controversial. There was one, but I didn't want to read it because we had to read about Tumblr. Okay, so one of the biggest YouTube top earners is a 7-year-old by the name of Jake who reviews toys, and he's making $22 million.
Well, he can afford a lot of damn toys then.
Yeah.
That's true.
A 7-year-old boy who reviews toys has been revealed as YouTube's highest earning star, ranking in at $22 million. The estimate by Forbes magazine found that Ryan of Ryan Toys Review pipped Jake Paul by $500,000. For the 12 months to June, videos are posted most days, and one promoting a blue giant mystery egg bearing Ryan's face has more than 1 million views since Sunday. The Dude Perfect channel is in third place, making $20 million, says Forbes. Ryan's earnings, which do not include tax or fees charged by agents or lawyers, I mean, he's 7, has doubled compared in the previous year. Asked by NBC why kids like watching his videos, Ryan, who is now 8, replied, "Because I'm entertaining and I'm funny."
Yeah, you get no bullshit from this kid.
Yeah. Since the channel was set up by Ryan's parents in March 2015, its videos have almost 26 billion views and amassed 13 million followers. Forbes said all but 1 million of the 22 million total is generated by advertising shown before videos, with the remainder coming from sponsored posts, probably all the toys.
I've been trying to do this for about as long as this kid's been alive.
All right, so let's see who the top 10 best paying stars are. So we have him as number 1. Number 2 is Jake Paul, who's making $21.5 million. Number 3 is Dude Perfect, making $20 million. Number 4 is Daniel Middleton, making $18.5 million. Number 5 is Jeffree Star, making $18 million, who is apparently new, probably new on the list. Number 6 is Markiplier with $17.5 million. Number 7 is Evan Fong with $17 million. Jacksepticeye is $16 million, who's new, I guess new on the list. Number 9 is the Lord of Lords PewDiePie, making $15.5 million.
PewDiePie is being out-earned by Jacksepticeye. That is so sad.
And Multiplier.
I don't even know half of these people. But then again, I've never even seen any of them. But I have heard of them. And apparently, if PewDiePie is making $15.5 million on YouTube, he must be making a lot more as a hat salesman. And
goddamn, that's a lot of hats.
Yeah. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have controversial Logan Paul's at number 10 with 14.5. The amount generated by sponsored posts is small compared with other top YouTubers. Forbes writes, it is the result not only of the few deals Ryan or his family chooses to accept, but is also the fact that his pint-sized demographic isn't exactly all that flush. The toys featured in one of the channel's videos can sell out instantly. In August, Walmart began selling an exclusive range of toys and clothing called Ryan's World, and a video showing Ryan and his parents searching for his own toys at a Walmart store has had 14 million views in 3 months. So not only does this kid is the highest earning guy on YouTube, and now he has a toy and clothing deal. What?
I'd like a toy and clothing deal. I make nice toys and clothes. I have mugs for sale. They're nice mugs. They're not this mug, but they're similar.
Yeah. Anyway.
God damn it.
My God. As he is still a child, 15% of Ryan's earnings are put into a bank account that he can only access when he becomes an adult. Okay, so his parents are, responsible for that. Let's just hope that, it doesn't go to the Macaulay Culkin route. Ryan's twin sisters haven't been left out of the fun either. They feature in some of his videos on a related YouTube channel called Ryan's Family Review.
I'm worried about the kid now hearing that his money is in the hands of someone else. Oh, it's for them. It's like, yeah, but when you're talking about millions and millions of dollars, some people can decide for that much, yeah, it's worth being an asshole.
Yeah. Matthew Austin says, this kid will have major and expensive sleepovers. Yeah. It's going to be like 6-foot-long subs, an enormous amount of pizza, and enough cream soda and Skittles until your spit hurts.
John Horn saying, damn it, Decker, why do you have to stream at the same time as Razor? This is part of my new rivalry. Shots fired. I mean, he wins, but I fired. Like, I got the 0-1 kill death ratio here. I'm trying.
As usual.
Uh-huh. A video titled Top 10 Science Experiments You Can Do at Home for Kids starring 3 children has had more than 26 million views. Daniel Middleton, the Minecraft gamer who topped the 2017 list with earnings of $16.5 million, has slipped into 4th place. While Jake Paul moves up 6 places to 2nd, his brother Logan has tumbled down to Forbes this year to 10th place. As mentioned with the Paul brothers, we don't talk about that. So yeah. So yeah, this kid is making more money than any of us combined, and he's only 8.
Jake Paul doesn't seem as bad, at least not since I saw most of the Shane Dawson series with him. The last part that's like as long as a big fucking movie, I still haven't seen because I've got other big fucking movies to watch.
Yeah.
You gotta watch all the other Robocop movies.
It's just perfect that the hangout messed up right there, and you had Robo Creepy coming out for a second.
Corey 2000 says, would Decker shave his head for $22 million?
Yes.
There you go.
I mean, it has to be like worth it. I'm not just going to be like, hey, we shaved your head for $50? No. 100? No. 1,000? No. 22 million? Yes.
I'll even join him. I'll shave my head for 22 million.
See, 10,000, it starts getting a little questionable because it's like that is a good amount of money, but it is also kind of my thing, and it might actually have a negative effect on my, career, as it were. Maybe not immediately. Maybe immediately it would have a positive effect to get people talking, but it would take a while for my hair to grow back, and people aren't going to wait 5 years.
Look at the bright side. I mean, you can always have a new catchphrase. Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shado, the internet personality with the shiniest head. So all we need to do is just give that a good old buff and wax,
But then my hair will grow back. I'm just gonna have to focus on something else that ain't gonna change. I'm just gonna go with my face is 3 miles long. It's just gonna have to become the thing. That's just what it is.
Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shadow, the internet personality with the uneven nostrils.
Well, that too. Thank you. My eyes is just like my face is just not good. Okay.
All right. Well, we only have a few more articles to go through. So let's finish this off. So remember when I mentioned about the whole Charlie and the Chocolate Factory deal about us coming back to it in due time? Well, there's been a recent report, once again, courtesy of TV Line. And again, thank you to our overlords at Netflix. So there's going to be animated adaptations based off of Roald Dahl's classic stories, such as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Matilda.
In a deal that would appear to have the longevity of an everlasting gobstopper, which is, about 15 minutes. Netflix and are they talking about the ones in the story or the ones in the store? Because the ones you can actually get don't last forever. Just saying.
I think it's the story, the everlasting gobstopper. I think it's the story, not the real thing.
Netflix and the Roald Dahl Story Company have announced that the streaming giant is extending the Roald Dahl universe of stories by way of a slate of animated event series. Netflix's release says it intends to remain faithful to the quintessential spirit and tone of Dahl, while also building out an imaginative story universe that expands far beyond the pages of the books themselves. Those titles in the agreement include Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, the BFG, the Twits, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, George's Marvelous Medicine Boy, Tales of Childhood, Going Solo, a Star Wars story, The Enormous Crocodile, The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, Henry Sugar, Billy and the Minipins, The Magic Finger, SEO Trot, Dirty Beasts, and Rhyme Stew. Production on the first project will start in 2019. Watch a teaser above.
We would love to, but we can't.
Okay, our mission, which is purposefully lofty, is for as many children as possible around the world to experience the unique magic and positive message of Roald Dahl's stories. The author's widow, Felicity Dahl, said in a statement, "This partnership with Netflix marks a significant move towards making that possible. Roald would, I know, be thrilled. Immersing ourselves in the extraordinary worlds of Roald Dahl stories has been an honor and massive amount of fun," said Melissa Cobb, Netflix's VP of Kids and Family Content. "We have great creative ambition to reimagine the journeys of so many treasured Dahl characters in fresh, contemporary ways with the highest quality animation and production values."
Roald Dahl would be satisfied and he would be okay with it. This is the guy who hated Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and the Witches.
Right.
I just, trust me, he's probably too dead to complain.
Fair enough.
Maybe that was a little cold, but I'm me.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. But I think that animated adaptations based off of them. I mean, let's just hope that it's nowhere near as infamous as the Tom and Jerry version.
Lazarus Soul says the magic finger is their Thanos.
Oh,
Everyone's saying the magic finger sounds disturbing.
I've never heard of the magic finger. I mean, I know about Roald Dahl's famous works. I know about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, James and the Giant Peach, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I do know about those, but I've never heard of the magic finger.
Okay. Brian Corwin says, as long as Tom and Jerry stay far away from it, I'm fine with it. A lot of people talk about Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka.
I've heard it's not really good.
That's what I'm getting from the comments. I figured that much.
Yeah, and Amanda Tucker, we did discuss about Section 13 last time on Live and Wired. And we do know that it's still in effect, and we have yet to see any updates or information regarding about that.
But I mean, when even Google is saying, no, wait, if you try and do something like that, it's going to really fuck things up. It's really going to fuck things up.
When Google is telling you that this is a bad idea because it will fuck shit up, this is the point where you all hit pause and say, wow, we really, really fucked it up this time.
Oh, boy.
Ugh.
Seriously, why UK? Why, Europe? Why? Okay. And everybody's making their own jokes about the magic finger, so I'll let them continue with that. Okay, let's see if there's any others that let's go into some more video game news. At least there's a little bit of good news regarding about Nintendo. So I'm sure a lot of people know about Nintendo, and at that time they had very, very strict guidelines and rules regarding about what, how many of your how much of content of your video game should you post on YouTube to make it?
The dark ages of Nintendo's content, because technically the way the law is written there in the right, but that's just because people have already realized that's it's a weird thing. Let's Plays on YouTube, technically, the way the law is written, it's copyright infringement, but companies already know the people who watch Let's Plays of these games are more likely to buy the games because they want to play them, because it's not the same experience as watching someone else play. Nintendo, however, kind of stuck to the law and said, no, that's ours. For a long time, anything you post as Nintendo, they're like, claim, 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 claim. And for the last couple of years, they were like, you know what? Actually, we're going to let you do Let's Plays now. We swear. We're taking most of the money, though. Most of the money is still ours.
Mm-hmm. So this is what the Nintendo content guidelines for online video and image sharing platforms, according to their official website. So,
updated on November 29th, 2018, just a little bit ago.
Yes. We are humbled every day by your loyalty and passion for Nintendo games, characters, and world, and respect that you want to be able to express yourself creatively by sharing your own original videos and images using content from our games. As long as you follow some basic rules, we will not object of your use of gameplay footage and or screenshots captured from games for which Nintendo owns the copyright. So here are the following guidelines. Number 1, you may monetize your videos and channels using the monetization method separately specified by Nintendo. Other forms of monetization of our intellectual property for commercial purposes are not permitted. Number 2, we encourage you to create videos that include your creative input and commentary. Videos and images that contain mere copies of Nintendo game content without creative input or commentary are not permitted. You may, however, post gameplay videos and screenshots using Nintendo system features such as the capture button on Nintendo Switch without additional input or commentary.
Yay, 30 seconds.
Yay. Hey, you won that race. Hey, you beat this character in Smash Brothers. That's all you can post. Mm-hmm. As for the entire race or the entire match, nope. Okay,
Not unless you're in the corner talking about it at the time, then yes.
Yes. Okay, number 3, you are only permitted to use Nintendo game content that has been officially released or from promotional materials officially released by Nintendo, such as product trailers or Nintendo Directs.
So all you bastards that stole copies of Smash Brothers early and you were posting that shit, that's still not allowed, okay?
Number 4, or wait, is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, number 4. If you use the intellectual property of a third party, you are responsible for obtaining any necessary third-party permissions. So if it's not exclusively by Nintendo, let's just say if it was a Nintendo Switch port of Doom or Octopath Traveler or something like that, then yeah, you have to deal with those companies, not with Nintendo. Number 5, you are not permitted to imply or state that your videos are officially affiliated or with or sponsored by Nintendo, unless they actually give you an official copy and you are sponsored by Nintendo. Okay. Finally, number 6, we reserve the right to remove any content we believe is unlawful, infringing, inappropriate, or not in line with these guidelines. Please understand that we will not be able to respond to individual inquiries regarding these guidelines. Also, we may update these guidelines from time to time, so please refer to the latest version before sharing your content.
So
And there's an FAQ in the bottom, and
the long and short of it is pretty much, hey, you want to do Let's Plays of Nintendo games? You pretty much can now. Just don't upload raw gameplay with no commentary, or upload gameplay from Nintendo don't do like a Review Tech USA where you just have the Nintendo game. Well, I don't know if he does this anymore, but I mean, way back when at least, where you just have the gameplay playing and you're talking about something completely unrelated and it's just the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't do that. I think that's probably I think technically on these guidelines it wouldn't be against them, but I'm pretty sure it would still be against them. I don't know. Nintendo. I don't want to test that too much. But
basically, what I heard from this was, here are the things we're not going to allow, and if you do these things, you're banned. But we're also putting in a clause that says we can ban you even if you don't break any rules.
Yeah, it's the classic. It's like the Google community guidelines on YouTube, where it's written in such a way that they cover their ass as well as possible. It's like, technically, we could just ban you at any time for any reason, and fuck you. That's what you've agreed to today. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Well, let's see.
But it's still a lot. This is still a lot better than Nintendo had been in the past.
True. Very true. And even still to this day, I have yet to make a single dime off of my Let's Play of the Metroid franchise, even though that it was my commentary, and even though that it was in a smaller screen, so I have no idea why. I mean, I was following their guidelines, so I had no idea why that Nintendo was really strict about it. So, all right, well...
Jason X9000 says Nintendo is like a grade school kid who refuses to share their toys.
Mm-hmm.
They invent the toys, kids want them, and they're like, no, we're not going to share it to you unless you follow these specific rules.
Yeah. Actually, they sound a lot like those anal retentive parents, who have the toys and just want to have power over small children.
15 minutes before bedtime.
All right, well... Okay, let's go over to our next article, which I'm going to ask a question for all of you guys, and I'm not going to reveal it until much later. So, okay, once again, we are discussing about another poll. Now, according to a particular poll that was posted by Applied Network Science Journal, which I believe, I think this may have been the same one that did the which movie do you want to see rebooted, and Back to the Future was number 1, I think. I think I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. But they asked another question. What is the most influential movie of all time? So, yeah, answer that question.
Yeah, I already know because I read the news sheet.
Yeah. But in your opinion, what do you think is the most influential movie of all time?
See, the problem is I'm not going to get it right because I already know what they said.
I know. Creepy, do you know, did you read the article?
No, I did not.
Okay, so what do you think, according to the poll, what is the most influential movie in the history of cinema?
Labyrinth, by the power of David Bowie's crotch.
You win. No.
Jacob Kennedy says 2001: A Space Odyssey. Lazarus 82 says Short Circuit.
Okay, well,
Michael
those
Wolf's
are the-
asking influential in what way?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure we'll read about that in the article, but let's see what the article says. So let's see.
Oh, Jacob Kennedy says Star Wars. That's a pretty big one. I'd say that's probably the truth. But you
All
know,
right. Well, let's see what it says. Here are the 20 most influential movies in the history of cinema, according to a new study. The question has been hunting journalists and cinema lovers for a while now. Which movies are the most influential of all time? In a study published by Applied Network Science Journal, two Italian researchers from Turin, I don't know, University, Bioglio, oh man, I'm sorry.
L&R.
L&R, thank you. Livio and Ruggero have found a way to answer this question thanks to an alternative method. They created an algorithm which analyzed the 47,000 movies, 20,000 directors, and 400,000 actors listed in the giant IMDb website's database in order to list the number of times movies are referred to in one or several others. Of course, the IMDb database is a scientific bias in itself, giving it a Western perspective to the study. As a consequence, many of the 20 featured movies are American, and all of them were made before 1980. So, drum roll, please, because let's take a look at what the
Ching!
The most influential of them all, it is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. The 1939 movie is regularly mentioned by masters of the US cinema as a major film. Star Wars comes second, followed by Psycho, Citizen Kane, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Dracula, Casablanca, Metropolis, and Battleship Potemkin all make it to the top 20, which should make the pickiest of us happy. So this is the top 20 list. So we have Wizard of Oz, Star Wars, Psycho, King Kong, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Metropolis, Citizen Kane, Birth of a Nation. Make of that what you will.
What? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That just kind of came out of nowhere.
I know.
Awkward.
Frankenstein, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Casablanca.
It's like you have a big get-together, big party, and then the one guy shows up, and you're like, oh, no eye contact, no eye contact.
Epic Jason X9000 said they already screwed up, which says Psycho. I think that's how they say it in Italian. And maybe. Because, remember, this is from... Remember,
what? No Infinity War?
Remember, all of these movies came out before 1980. So, yeah. And let's see, we got Dracula, The Godfather, Jaws, Nosferatu, The Searchers, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Dr. Strangelove. Caballera. I think that's what it is in Italian. I think I'll have to double check. Gone with the Wind and Battleship Potemkin. Now let's take a look at the other poll that it was done. The most influential directors. So in a top 20 list, again, we have Alfred Hitchcock at number 1, Steven Spielberg at number 2, Brian De Palma at number 3.
Oh, man.
Howard Hawks at number 4, John Ford at number 5, Martin Scorsese at number 6, Ingmar Bergman at number 7, Stanley Kubrick at number 8, Gerald Thomas at number 9, Ishiro Honda at number 10, number 11 is Fritz Lang, number 12 is Quentin Tarantino, number 13 is David Cronenberg, number 14 is Michael Curtiz, number 15 is Roald Walsh, number 16 is John Carpenter, I can talk. Number 17 is Clint Eastwood. Number 18 is Tim Burton. Number 19 is John Landis. And number 20 is Robert Rodriguez. And finally, last but not least, influential actors and actresses.
God damn.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, actresses. We'll go first with that. So Lois Maxwell is number 1. Carrie Fisher's number 2. Michael O'Sullivan is number 3. Halle Berry's number 4. Drew Barrymore is number 5. Lynn Shay is number 6. Cameron Diaz is number 7. Julianne Moore is number 8. Faye Dunaway is number 9. Beth Grant is number 10. Jamie Lee Curtis is number 11. Julie Christie is number 12. Sigourney Weaver is number 13. Joan Crawford, number 14. Number 15 is Maggie Smith. 16, Frances Bay. 17, Mary Ellen Trainor. 18, Cloris Leachman. Number 19, Judi Dench. And number 20 is Natalie Portman. And last but certainly not least, we have the actors. Number 1 is Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay. The lists are all right now.
All right.
Okay. Number 2 is Clint Eastwood. Number 3 is Tom Cruise. Number 4 is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 5
Arnold Schwarzenegger is lower than Tom Cruise?
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5 is John Wayne. Number 6 is Willem Dafoe. Wow. Okay.
He ranked a lot higher than I thought he would. I mean, he's not a bad actor. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying I wouldn't think that he would be listed as influential by that many people to beat out the likes of Vincent Price
Okay.
by 2 ranks.
All right. Well, let's see. Bruce Willis is number 7. Vincent Price is number 8.
Woo!
Woohoo! Yay, Vincent. Desmond thank you. Number 9. I can't pronounce that. Ward Bond, number 10. Robert De Niro is number 11. Sean Connery is number 12. 13 is Jack Nicholson. 14, Harrison Ford. 15, Danny Trejo. Number 16 is Christopher Lee. 17 is Robbie Coltrane. Number 18 is Johnny Depp. Number 19 is Steve Buscemi. And number 20 is James Stewart.
Steve Buscemi. All right.
That's the list. So, courtesy of 2 Italian guys who went through IMDb and created a huge algorithm to see which one were the most influential movies. So, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Oh, man. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Everybody's just like saying what? They're just like, that's all they're just saying. It's like, really?
Yeah, Michael Wolf is asking, who put Danny Trejo above Christopher Lee?
Jacob Kennedy is, what about Sigourney Weaver?
Oh, she was there on the list. She was just, what, number 15 or so?
Around that
on the
time.
actresses.
Corey 2000 says Frank Welker was robbed.
Very true. Darth Necrosis says, no Christopher Walken, 0 out of 10.
Amanda Tucker it just made me sad. They say, I was hoping Robin Williams made the list.
Aww.
Now it's sad. Forever.
I am very sad. All right. You want to be even more sad?
Why would I want to be more sad?
It's happy for you people.
I know. We're not going through more happy endings. Especially for somebody like... Damn it.
This is a terrible segue.
I know. I deserve to be punished. Guillermo del Toro. There was a really sad article that was posted recently based off of something he posted on Twitter that he shared 17 screenplays that were never produced, even though that he has written them. And he was talking about, all the projects that he wanted to do but never happened. Mm-hmm. So, okay, whose turn?
I'll take this one.
Go ahead.
Guillermo del Toro, for how successful he is as both a screenwriter and director, hasn't always had the best luck with getting all of his projects greenlit. Video game fans will already know this, with 3 of del Toro's gaming projects, Sundown, Insane, and Silent Hills, all getting canceled long before they had a chance to be officially shown to the public. Turns out he's had just as much trouble with number of screenplays he's authored too. The Shape of Water director is known to get candid on social media, and Monday he revealed a list of scripts that he wrote that had never made it to the production stage, counting it as more of a decade of work lost and years more for a film that got into pre-production. Among the screenplays Del Toro wrote that never got made are his versions of Pacific Rim 2, very different, he says, not surprising, Justice League Dark, Beauty and the Beast, The Count of Monte Cristo, and Wind in the Willows, which I love. Also on the list are...
Guillermo del Toro, Wind in the Willows.
I would have loved to see that. It would be like Pan's Labyrinth with furry creatures. I want that.
That's actually not as shocking for me as you might think, because Del Toro does have this very has a very whimsical kind of charm to him a lot. You know, like it's sometimes it's more obvious than others. I mean, you don't see that as much in something like Pacific Rim, of course, but you know, yeah, I can believe that. Yeah. Also on the list, The Witches
You
at
knew
the
about
Mountain.
that one.
Yeah, we did. Even I guess, you know, he had his own version of The Witches right before Robert Zemeckis took it over.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he wanted to produce At the Mountains of Madness? Damn.
What's that?
It's a Lovecraft story. It takes place in Antarctica.
Ooh.
Goddamn.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Fantastic Voyage.
Are they just holding this man down like, no, we got to keep Hollywood shitty. You can't give them standards now.
Mephisto's Bridge, Superstitions, Nightmare Alley, Haunted Mansion.
Oh, wow. That would have been so great. Yes, I want to see a Haunted Mansion with Del Toro. That would have been much better than the crappy movie with Eddie Murphy.
The Buried Giant, The Coffin Druid, an untitled secret film, and List of Seven, which he co-wrote with Twin Peaks co-creator Mark Frost, plus a Hulk pilot.
Okay, what is Druid? Because that just reminds me of the old school EverQuest players when you had the elite gamer who would solo as a druid because they were so easy to kite. They were referred to as druids.
I don't know. I'm not
I
sure.
don't think that's what the movie was about.
Let me see if I can. I think that. Let's see. Let me see if I can look it up. Okay, Druid is a novel written by Dan Simmons. The book was initially published on February 1st, 2009. It is a fictionalized account of the last 5 years of Charles Dickens' life.
And no one of importance is asking, what the hell? Why would you stop Del Toro from making these awesome projects?
I guess it's not too surprising because Charles Dickens did write a book called The Mystery of Edwin Drood that he never completed because he died.
Well, that is a problem. That does get in the way sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Just sometimes. I mean, there are plenty of artists who just kind of kept going.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just a bunch of his tweets discussing more in details of it. But the good news is he is still doing his, Netflix Pinocchio movie. So there's that. And, he still has Troll Hunters on Netflix. So, I mean, Del Toro is still doing stuff. And he did won last year's Oscar, Shape of Water. So, yeah, I mean, all those other stuff sounds so cool, though.
And Darth Necrosis says, and yet we get movies like The Grinch.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm kind of with everybody on this because all of these movies sound like, really cool, and some of them I'm like I'm with you, Patricia. I'm like, I want to see these.
On one hand, I'm looking at it like, well, a lot of times there are things that sound good, but then you get into it and it turns out it's terrible. But I'm thinking, look at that, like, these all sound amazing. The chances that these are terrible, that there's nothing to salvage here, I find incredibly low.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let's go over to some more awful news because I just love seeing Decker cry.
Wow, why are you doing?
Don't worry, we'll get to some good news later. All right, so
no, we won't. We're getting towards 3 hours, and my fiance is gonna kill me.
Don't worry, I have one more article.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Now, what you see here, you're probably wondering, Patricia, what the hell is this? What you are seeing here is the source code for the PlayStation Classic.
Oh yeah, and I did a little bit of search because I saw what you linked and I saw what it said. So I went ahead and tried to locate what was supposed to be there, and I think I found some stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, according to the source code, there were a lot of games that were originally supposed to be on the PlayStation Classic, but were cut because of reasons. But yeah, basically, if I'm going to try to see if I can find some list of games.
If you Control F to bring up the find, you can bring up the check to see what the title of the system is. The command is with no spaces. Is title name.
Title name, gotcha. Okay, title name. Thank you, Decker. Okay, we have Parasite Eve Disc 1, Parasite Eve Disc 2 Japan, Parasite Eve Disc 1 US, and Disc 2. So we would have had Parasite Eve. So that's one.
One thing I find interesting is, according to this, there's apparently a 4th disc for Final Fantasy VII, but only the Japanese version.
Huh. Interesting. All right, let's go to the next one. 3, 4. Okay, title name. Can't. Okay, nothing there. Okay, here we go. Final Fantasy VII discs 1, 2, 3, and 4, as Decker did say. Japan. And the U.S. and in the European version. Darius, which is a Japanese game. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is the European version. Wow, we would have had Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I actually did play that one on PlayStation a while when I was young. Intelligent Cube.
That's in there, I think.
Yeah, that's in there. Jumping Flash, which is also in there as well. I think because it's very important in terms of. Okay. Legacy of Kagero, Japan. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, European and US. Medal of Honor, European and US. Medieval, which I think Medieval.
Oh God, yeah, Medieval.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
I do remember that actually now.
Mega Man Legends, Japan. Metal Gear Solid. Oh, really? They were gonna have Metal Gear Solid in this?
Isn't that in there already?
I don't think so. Yeah,
I can't remember what the PlayStation Classic game list is. I know there's a bunch that it's like there's some real nice ones, and then there's things like Cool Borders 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the list when I'm done, okay? Because I do have the list.
Dark Necrosis says Resident Evil was supposed to be on it, and yeah, I think that I saw that.
Yeah, I think it's on the list as well. So Oddworld's Age Odyssey.
I got it here. European, Japanese, and US.
Okay, so yeah, Oddworld Age Odyssey is on the list.
Fighting Force.
Yeah. Saga Frontier. Wow. Spec Ops, Stealth Patrol, Suikoden, Siphon Filter, Tekken.
Siphon Filter is on the final product, I believe.
Okay. Tekken 3.
That is as well.
Tomba, Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I don't believe that Tony Hawk is on the PlayStation Classic.
It's not. Although it's called Tony Hawk Skateboarding in Europe, which, okay, makes sense. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Vagrant Story, Wild Arms, Fighting Force, Resident Evil, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Chocobos, which is a Japanese exclusive, Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot would have been in the game.
Oh, they had the Japanese Airgaz in there? I don't know if that's... I don't know what there's a different list of games in Japan as well. Japan has some pretty good games on the PlayStation Classic, actually. I don't know if Airgaz is in the final one in Japan, though, but I see it here in the source code.
Yeah. Let's see, we got more Medal of Honor, more Final Fantasy VII, Persona. The original Persona would have been in it.
That is in it, actually. That made it.
Oh, okay. Air Guys, Wild Arms 2.
I remember that one.
Toshinden. Is that in there?
Yeah, that's Battle Arena Toshinden.
Okay.
That did make it.
Okay. I think that's it. So, yeah. Those are all the games that were cut from the original lineup. And as for the 20
Arc
games...
the Lad and Arc the Lad 2 in Japan. Gran Turismo.
Oh, Gran Turismo.
Gran fucking Turismo?
Wow, Gran Turismo.
Gran fucking Turismo!
Okay, well,
the first one, the second one was much better, but still, Gran fucking Turismo.
Okay, well, I think that we got the point. So I'm going to read off the official list of the PlayStation Classic. So, Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller.
Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah.
I remember that one too.
Yeah, Parappa the Rapper would have been in there. Let's see. Resident Evil Director's Cut, Rayman, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter Turbo 2 Turbo, Twisted Metal, Wild Arms. I think I actually do have a picture. I actually saved a picture of more games that would have been featured in the PlayStation Classic. I'm gonna pull it up for just a quick second if I still have it. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Parasite Eve, Gran Turismo.
Okay, I got it. Let's see. Tomb Raider 2,
Parasite Eve, Gran Turismo, and Resident Evil. That's like major things that everyone was saying they wanted when we were like, there's 15 unannounced games. What do people want? I didn't get
Yeah.
what I wanted, but
Yeah, let's see. Tomb
those were
Raider.
things that a lot of people said, and
Yeah. Yeah. Other games that would have been in there: Tomb Raider 2, Grand Theft Auto 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter EX plus A, the original Tomb Raider, Silent Hill, Mr. Driller G, Klonoa, Colin McRae Rally, Crash Bandicoot 2. Let's see if there's any others that I missed. Race Storm, Ridge Racer, the original Ridge Racer, Xevious 3D/G Plus, Wild Arms 2, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, we've read that part. Spec Ops Stealth Patrol, we read that part. Yeah, Parappa the Rapper, we've read that already. Kula World, never heard of it. Yeah, that's more or less. But yeah, there were a ton of games that were cut off from the PlayStation Classic, which makes me really, really sad. All right. Well, let's go over to our last article because I want to end it on a bang because I couldn't believe that this existed. So when
okay,
you think,
I found the big list where it's like, okay, this is where it's much easier to find. It's just a straight list of the game titles. It's like
all right,
enum title underscore name there. Then it shows like everything's like Driver, the original Driver. Holy shit!
All right, well, one more article. So let's end it off with some horror news, discussing about what we talked about last time about the Candyman reboot.
Silent Hill.
Yeah, Silent Hill.
It's
So let's see what Tony Todd, the original man who played as Candyman, think of the reboot. So okay, so who wants to end us off?
I think it's my turn, but I
Okay.
don't know because I don't think very well.
Sure.
Okay. Just last week, one of our big scoops from earlier this year was confirmed when we learned that Jordan Peele is indeed producing a spiritual sequel to Bernard Rose's original Candyman, with Nia DaCosta on board to direct a script co-written by Peele. At this time, we still don't know if Tony Todd will be back on the title role or if the role will be recast. So what does Todd himself think of all of this? I have mixed feelings because I thought they were going to make this 15 years ago. The horror icon just told sci-fi. If this had been 10 years ago when I heard news, I would have been devastated. I would have fought for it. Now I'm in a different place. He continued, I've got so many other options that even if they make this without me, which I doubt, the attention the new movie will create will lead folks back to the original, because people like to see the source material. Todd also spoke a bit about what he'd like to see from the brand new take on the horror villain he made into an icon, while noting that now is the perfect time to bring him back. In 2018, I think there are a few neighborhoods that could use some Candyman justice. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy that as an African-American man, that Candyman has once again been given the nod to enter people's consciousness, he expressed to the site. Todd added, I hope they don't dance around the relationship between Candyman and the love of his life, the reason for his death, and that they are actually allowed to kiss. Back then, it was rare that African-American male film stars got to kiss any of the white leading ladies they worked with. I'm just speaking my mind here. MGM will release the new Candyman on June 12th, 2020.
All right. So yeah, he's kind of mixed about it, which, it makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to leave it off on another sad note or another WTF moment. So
that's what we're all about here. WTF and depression.
Oh, you want a WTF moment?
Oh God. I why do I do these? Why do I do these?
Okay. So I was actually holding out on this because I wanted to end on a pretty decent note, but I was legitimately shocked when I first heard about this announcement. So yeah, because Decker wanted to leave it off on a WTF moment, which
I got a pretty kitty kit here. She's like, "Why are you picking me up like this? It's uncomfortable."
Okay, so because of Decker, we're getting the news that they're reviving Celebrity Deathmatch. There you go.
With Ice Cube starring and producing.
There you go. I hope you're happy.
Why?
You brought this on your Decker.
They brought back Beavis and Butthead. They brought back Daria, so let's bring back Celebrity Deathmatch. I cannot wait to see more stop motion, celebrities beating the crap out of each other with blood and weapons and such. So
I think we get some YouTubers in there.
Sure.
What kind of a spectacle would that be to have a couple of YouTubers beat the crap out of each other?
Yeah. Hey, maybe you'll get asked to be in Celebrity Deathmatch. Who would you? Maybe they'll have a Creepy versus Decker Celebrity.
I'm pretty sure you don't have quite that much clout, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
The one that I remember from the classic series the best was the Monica Lewinsky versus Hillary Clinton Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah. They used to bring like a whole bunch of like dated celebrities to fight against each other, and that was like before reality shows came by and just like really elevated that. Hey, we're gonna give them 15 minutes of fame. You remember these people? We're gonna make them do stupid stuff.
Right. Which that sounds like
John Washburn says unfair fight. Creepy uses a katana.
But like nowadays, that sounds like every reality show ever. Celebrities do stupid shit and beat the crap out of each other. What's so special about Celebrity Deathmatch anyway?
Yeah, I mean it's the decade of revivals. At this point, I'm not surprised. Yeah. But Ice Cube being involved with it, it's like okay, sure. So okay, there we go. I think we're done here.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. Why did I do this to myself? What is wrong with me?
Hey, look at the bright side. At least I didn't bring up controversial YouTube news. So
yeah, that's true.
Yay!
So,
just gotta wait 2 more days for that to jump on me.
There you go.
What you got going, Dicker? What's coming up?
Okay, so coming up, just got the Robocop review out. Finally, it's been a busy week. I have been working on that, believe it or not. But yeah, you really trust what I say if I end the sentence with a But point is, on the gaming channel, I've started up some visual novels again, the ultra lewd kind, of course, everyone's favorite. Let's see if I can get another community guideline strike over there. So I'm doing a Let's Play of Sakura Gamer. Doing that so I can cut back on the live streams with the gaming content, because I am trying to get more time to do the reviews. And also, it's a Christmas season. Everything's really damn busy. And also, tomorrow I am going to be going to Houston, not going to be going anywhere public. So if you're in Houston, don't expect that you're going to be seeing me anywhere unless you're really, really lucky and happen to be in the neighborhood. Because I'm going to be going over to Thick Black Daddy's place with Super Smash Brothers. And on his stream on Twitch, we will be playing Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Well, that's great.
Awesome. Patricia, what about you?
Well, let's see. I'm still doing Dream Machine, where we're discussing about every single DreamWorks movie. Just yesterday, I posted up episode 10, which is about Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. And now that I have my first semester of school off, I can finally work on writing video scripts. So let's see. Anything coming up? Well, I do have a few episodes of my podcast that I recorded in advance to post for the remaining year. And hopefully I do have maybe like 1 or 2 videos that I'll be posting right before that time. But yeah, hopefully things go well. So yeah, what about you, Creepy? What do you got?
Got a new Scooby-Doo review coming up. And hopefully this month I will have something special for the Batman retrospective.
Oh, nice. Looking forward to it.
Alrighty.
I take it that's not going to be good, is it?
No. Actually, it's good. I'm not saying any more because I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It has something to do with an anniversary that's coming up.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, well, I'll say no more.
Okay.
Epic Jason X9000 is also dropping that they will be posting on their channel on January 2019 the 2nd season of Primal Rage Mugen.
Ah, Mugen. I remember when I played that in college. You had such a variety of like some of the craziest characters that you would see in a fighting game.
Well, yeah, it was all like user driven. It was kind of like it was like an insanely modded Bethesda game before that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's Super Smash Bros. Everybody is here. Everybody's beating the crap out of each other. Like the Xenomorph Queen, that was a big one. Like literally, it took up most of the screen.
Right.
Yeah, and the Super Metroid as well, which like that covered like half the screen.
Right.
Of course, there's a point where people would try and put so many fighters together in their Mugen builds that the game would crash and it just be a little too much. You gotta pick and choose sometimes.
Anyway.
But yeah, Roll could kick some ass. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shadow.
I'm that long-haired creepy guy.
And I've been Patricia Miranda.
And remember, you should just let Guillermo del Toro make this damn movies. You are causing untold pain by not doing this.
Yes.
Guillermo del Toro will be part of the Dragon Ball Z musical.
I will accept that. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.